Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, amma ba'd, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Guys, welcome back to another episode of The Cave Podcast. Today we have a very, very interesting discussion lined up for you. We're going to talk about the 1 billion followers summit, which is currently taking place here in Dubai, which has currently had the biggest social media influencers in the world. Everyone from Mr. Beast, after him and before him, were present at that summit, and brother Mohamed was there learning the best gems, nuggets, pearls for 2026. You guys really want to stick around for that. You know, every single year, sometimes every quarter, the strategies are constantly changing. And these guys have direct access to Meta, YouTube. They get consulted many of the times, right? And they're coming out sharing, hey, this is what we're doing. This is what you should be doing. So we're going to ask for some basics, some advanced lessons and learnings that brother Mohammed has actually gone and learned and acquired whilst he was there. Inshallah, we're going to talk about this company called MaxSync, which is a makeup brand. And they've released this new AI feature called the MaxSync Mirror that is blowing up their sales. For business, it's fantastic, but there's concerns about the ethical elements of it. We're going to bring in our panel and discuss that as well. At what point do you have to ask yourself, is this actually bad for my potential prospect? Am I going to harm my consumers in trying to sell these products through them in this particular way? We'll talk a bit more about that in detail, inshallah ta'ala. There was a video that IFG, Islamic Finance Guru, released. No offense, the guru thing, I'm not really with it because that's like obviously a Hindu thing or a Sikh thing, but I don't believe the brother meant it in that way. I just wanted to clarify. No offense. Love the brother, you know, he's doing khair. But yeah, the IFG brother, he put out a video about 5 businesses that Muslims should set up in 2026. And I thought it was a very good video because it really got me thinking and, you know, about things in a bit more of a deep way, you know. And the primary thing he talked about, well, the first thing he talked about was having our own payment processing service, because a lot of Muslim businesses and even non-Muslim businesses are being blocked and stopped, right? PayPal is becoming very hard to deal with. So we're going to talk about that and some really interesting things that are happening amongst the Muslim entrepreneurs that provide these solutions, and also what are things that we should actually be focusing on in 2026. As usual, we're going to talk about Donald Trump, because we're on the 10th of January today. This video is coming out a couple of days from now, and it feels like we're in November 2026 already. So there's a lot of changes that are happening, and what does that mean from a business economic perspective? What strategy lessons can we learn for our businesses from a guy who runs, you know, the USA? So there's going to be a lot of discussions there. The Greenland topic is relevant, it's prime. What does that mean? And I think that's everything, guys. Have I missed anything out?
No, it's action-packed, man.
Action-packed, right?
All night.
Inshallah.
Let's hope we finish in 3 hours today.
Yeah. So look, with that said before, just wanted to let you guys know, as you guys may already be aware, we have a network. It's called The Cave. And this is only for powerful and wealthy entrepreneurs, investors who fear Allah. Right? The people like you and me, they pray, they fast, but they are killers when it comes to business, when it comes to operating at the highest level. The guys that you see inside this video are all members of that network. We just had an event, alhamdulillah. We're going to have another one, inshallah ta'ala, in 2 weeks' time, 2 weeks' time when this is released in the UK. Inshallah, I'm personally flying there for that. We've got retreats. You're going to have access to your own private board of advisors. Most people on a day-to-day basis are just going to talk to their C-suite. They're going to talk to people that are usually below them. Very seldom do you meet with people that are on your level or above. Imagine being able to have access to these people all day, every day with Allah's permission. And that is what we're building, alhamdulillah. So if anyone's interested right now, you can apply. There's an offer that we've got running only for the next 16 spaces. We have a retreat, inshallah ta'ala, in February. It's going to be on a private island here in Dubai. And then we're going to have a road trip with supercars called the Drive to Paradise. Inshallah, we're going to have some amazing speakers. Brother Sam is going to be delivering a presentation on how to make a killing in real estate. He's going to talk you through the mistakes that he's made. He's going to talk you through all the lessons that I learned. 2026, how do you make money in 2026? How do you find these opportunities that are going to help you just blow things out of the water, inshallah, and make as much money as safely and as smartly as possible? We've got Brother Abu Lahja coming, right? Allah, this young brother, exceptionally young brother, is now doing $1 million a month. How on earth did he do that? Let's be honest. A lot of and by the way, with high profits. It's not just revenue, high profits. Allah Barak is going to talk you through his strategy of how he scaled so quickly, so smartly, inshallah ta'ala. We have a bunch of other guys most likely Brother Ebrahim, he might be teaching us how to structure your exit, your 9-figure exit. We're going to talk about it, inshallah. It's going to be action-packed, right? It's going to be so much to learn. We're going to have yachts, private. It's going to be great. You've probably seen the footage online from the previous one. And guess what? We're going to let you come for free. We're going to let you come, inshallah ta'ala, all expenses paid, if you join us inside of the cave. And we're also going to extend that invitation to one of your friends as well, who's also legitimate for the cave. So, if you join the cave, and you make a referral, you and your friend are going to be able to come on us. We're going to have a great time. It's only available for the next 16 people. With that said, sign up at the link below, inshallah. And let me tell you something, bro. It's worth its weight in gold. You know, Sam's words are worth its weight in gold when he talks you through how to navigate 2026, inshallah ta'ala. In this region, by the way, which most people don't really know about. This region, this new opportunity, the new land for the home of the brave, right? Inshallah. So with that said, I hate these monologues, but unfortunately I'm going to carry on talking. As is our tradition, we start off with a reminder, right? We start off with a reminder, something about our deen to kind of just make sure that we stay grounded, because we're talking about money, we're talking about things that can harden the heart. And I do want to share something with you, but inshallah, I aim to keep it brief today. So there's a lot of problems happening in the world right now, guys. I think the world is more volatile right now than it's been in our lifetimes, right? Would you agree?
Yes.
Things are actually scary.
Yeah.
Like when I heard that when the US took that oil tanker, I think they're on 5 oil tankers now, but the first one they took that had a Russian flag, they took it just off the coast of Scotland in the UK, and then the British got involved. And right now, Putin is upset with the British. And I remember that terrified me. My wife and daughter currently in the UK, I called my wife and I said, get on the next flight. Get the hell out of that place. Because you know these things, anything can happen. Anything can happen. The way things are moving, just picked up Maduro, want to take Greenland. Like things like, as in I actually said to myself, and by the way, maybe I'm overreacting. I don't know. I'm not a geopolitical specialist, expert. I know my lane. But I'm a human. This is the way I'm thinking about the world. And I'm not usually like this. But subhanAllah, the fact that it happened, it really worried me. And I said to myself, get out right now. The first flight, get out. And the fact of the matter is that these kind of things are happening, unfortunately, in many places. And it makes a person worried, right? So I had this conversation with my Sheikh today. I want to share with you guys some of the things that I learned, how you can protect yourself from fitnah. Fitnah of all sorts. Fitnah in terms of, getting in trouble. Fitnah in terms of, you being oppressed, you being harmed, staying away from all of these conflicts and things that are taking place. So this is how the story goes, right? I was speaking with my Sheikh and I was like, Sheikh, look, I'm actually worried. Like I'm actually getting stressed about what's happening in the world. And what's really worrying me is the concept of, when fitnah takes place, people always get involved. This is the hardest part about fitnah, right? It's just to shut up and don't get involved. Like look right now, everyone has a view. Everyone's got an opinion. Everyone is talking about this country, that country, this government. I'm talking about Muslims. They're sitting where they're sitting in the belly of the beast, but they want to talk about Muslims, right? And things are not black and white. You in many of the time, you don't even know what's going on. Like we don't know how to fix a pipe inside of our house, so we call an expert, let alone what's going on, like geopolitically. So as a Sheikh, one of the things that I'm worried, I just want to protect myself, is just fitnah. I want to stay away from fitnah. Because fitnah, as Ibn Hajar said, is like a beautiful woman, man. She's so beautiful. You go to her, but when the dust settles, her makeup is removed, you realize she's an ugly old hag. But it's too late now. Because you got involved in problems and fitnah, and now you're in trouble, and sometimes people's lives are lost. People's lives get lost in fitnah, right? So I don't know what the future holds. I just want to protect myself. So I said, I'm thinking of reading the explanation of Kitab al-Fitan, which is a book in Sahih Muslim, right? It's a book about hadith and evidences about fitnah. And there's an amazing Sheikh who's got an explanation of the book, Sheikh Abdul Karim. And I was like, Sheikh, but I'll be honest, the thing that's stressing me is I'm reading so many things and I'm studying you, and this is something that's, should I read it? He said, Imran, I will summarize the whole thing for you.
And he did? Huh? And he did?
The whole thing, wallah, he did. If a person has a taste a sniff of the hadith about fitna and whatnot, they'll notice this one thing. He said, I'll summarize the whole thing so you don't have to read it, inshallah. Not that he said, don't read it, but he was like, I'll summarize it for you. He said, ibadah, worship Allah. He said, if you worship Allah, Allah will protect you. He said, people, when fitna happens, they don't worship Allah. For example, there's a hadith and the Messenger ﷺ said, whoever worships Allah, ibadah, during haraj, when there's bloodshed, we're talking this level of fitna, when there's bloodshed around you, is like doing hijrah to the Prophet ﷺ. Is like doing hijrah with the Prophet ﷺ. It's something we can't even do anymore because it's already happened, right? But that's the reward to show you people don't worship Allah when there's fitna. When the Prophet woke up at night one time because he said fitna has come down, who's going to wake up my wives so they can pray the night prayer? Ibadah. When there's fitna, we worship Allah Azza wa Jal. Then he mentions this ayah, as you know, Sheikh, in Surah Al-Anfal, where Allah says, Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu in tattaqullaha yaj'al lakum furqana. Oh, you believe if you fear Allah, taqwa means to worship Him by doing the things He told you and staying away from the things He told you to stay away from. That's what taqwa means. Yep. Worship. He said, if you worship Allah, yaj'al lakum furqana. Allah will make for you a way to understand right and wrong.
Wow.
Allah will give you the ability. You know how sometimes when you can just tell this guy's fake, this guy's a snake, this is a scam.
We call it intuition.
Intuition, the Arabs call it farasa. Allah will give you farasa. Allah will give you the ability to just know. So he said worship, and the greater your worship is, the more you'll be protected from fitna. There's the hadith, بادروا إلى الأعمال فتنا كقطع الليل المظلمة, كما قال, that rush to good deeds before a fitna comes, where it's so hard to tell the difference between right and wrong. It's like the darkness of the night. Like imagine pitch black, you can't see anything. As in, that's what right and wrong will become like. How do you protect yourself from that? Worshipping Allah. Like worships. Everyone's just talking about politics, but brother, just worship your Lord. And he said the two key worships, he said salah in all its forms, obligatory in the masjid, the night prayer, sunan, and Quran. He said these two things. He goes, Imran, if you do these two things, you'll be protected from a lot of fitna.
That's all you need.
I will add just a few more, right? Just from the angle of benefit, inshallah, even though that is the summary. Like that's the main thing. Second thing is knowledge. The biggest fitna is going to be the fitna of Dajjal. And who are the ones that are saved from the fitna of Dajjal? You see that they have knowledge. Like the boy who gets split in half. Can you imagine, bro? Dajjal's going to bring your mama out of the grave. Or he's going to see he brought your parents back from the dead. Like and then he's going to say, see, I told you, I'm God, Allah. Like God brings the dead out of the grave. I just resurrected, so you have to worship me. And then he's got an army and, he's making crops come out of the land. It's all illusion, but imagine. Right now, you hear a guy that speaks misguidance and you're like, yeah, let me run with it. When Dajjal it's going to be crazy. So then the Prophet gave you some things to notice that he's a liar. He's Dajjal, he's not Allah. And one of them is, you see the young man who gets split in half by him and brought back together. He will say, now I know for certain you're Dajjal. Imagine he just got split by Dajjal and Dajjal brought him back. Illusion, right? So only Allah has the ability to do that. He's going to say, now I know you're Dajjal. Because he had knowledge of the hadith from before. The Prophet said that Dajjal will come and he will do this, and the Messenger said, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Innahu a'war. He has one eye and the other eye is not proper. He's only got one proper eye. They said, وَإِنَّ رَبَّكَ لَيْسَ بِأَعْوَرٍ. And your Lord is not like that. He doesn't have one eye. And the other is deformed. He doesn't have that. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. I.e. the Prophet is telling you, this is how you will know. It's these knowledges. So imagine you never took the time to learn about the fitna of Dajjal. How will you know? Likewise, if you don't learn about fitna and how to be in fitna, like for example, when there's times of fitna, take it to the scholars. Don't get involved, right? When there's time of fitna, like don't rebel. Don't create uprisings and revolutions. So the point is that this is knowledge that shows you like how to stay away and protect yourself from fitna, how to sniff fitna. The third thing is stay away from the fitna as much as you can. In Surah Al-Kahf, whoever reads it gets protected from Dajjal. That surah, if you look at it, actually the stories show you how to protect yourself from fitna. And the people of Kahf, what was it? They wanted to stay away from the people that were not letting them, that they were oppressing them. They were not letting them practice their religion. So they went into a cave. And the Messenger said, you might have to go to the mountains. Just stay away from the fitna. The Prophet said, if you see the Dajjal, go the other way. Don't be like, oh, I'm curious. I want to see the kafir sign in his head. No, the Prophet said, if you hear about Dajjal, go the other way. You don't want to go to the fitnah. Wherever there's fitnah, leave it. If there's a country there's a lot of fitnah, leave it. If there's conversation with this fitnah, leave it. Right? So that's the third thing. The fourth thing is stay quiet. And this is the hardest one. Man sakata naja, the Prophet said. Man sakata naja. Whoever's quiet, he'll be saved. Don't have an opinion. Don't go into Twitter. Don't go into X. Like even me, like I'm coming to the podcast even more wary of what I'm gonna say. Like whoever's quiet, you'll be saved. Like, how many people got in trouble? How many people have said something and they got killed because of it? How many people said something that caused someone to kill someone else? How many times someone said something, it made a husband and wife divorce? How many people said something, it created a riot? How many people said something and they're in jail or someone else is in jail? What? How many people said something, they're in Jahannam now? You say something, you could even leave Islam. Like that's how dangerous. Just keep quiet, right? And the last thing is dua. The dua for afiyah. Afwan afiyah. The dua to be protected from fitnah, from the fitnah of Dajjal, from fitnah al-mahya wal-mamat. These du'as we make in our salah. So without going on too long, inshallah, the first one, like I said, is worship Allah. Salah and Quran primarily, and of course everything else. Number 2, knowledge. Knowledge, study, learn, so you can stay away from the fitnah. Number 3, get away from the fitnah. Number 4, be quiet, bro. Just be quiet. You're like, why? You're not a politician, you talk about politics. You're not a doctor, you tell people to go inside of what? Do surgery. You're not a doctor, it's not your place. Why now talk about big things? Why knowledge, religion, giving fatwa? Just be quiet, but protect yourself. And lastly, dua, beg Allah to protect you from fitnah. So that was,
MashaAllah, very good.
Barakallah fi. If you're thinking of investing in real estate right now, it's risky because of all the issues that are going on in the world. The real estate market is volatile and at risk. Unless you're thinking of investing in Dubai. Whatever happens around the world, with Allah's permission, His fadl, alhamdulillah, Dubai real estate market keeps on thriving. Brother Sam Amin, one of the members of this panel, you guys have seen him before, Sakina Developments, $150 million in assets under management, is doing his second development project here in Majan. Now, here's the really cool thing. From an allocation perspective, from a fundraising perspective, this project is almost at the finish line. There is only 3 million dirham left to raise. Now, here's why you should get in now, in my humble opinion, before this window closes. 2 reasons. Number 1, the second project that's ready is not going to give you 50% returns, inshallah ta'ala. The returns are going to be good, they're going to be healthy, it's going to be safe, it's going to be secure, inshallah ta'ala, but it won't be as good as this one right here. The second thing is that future investment opportunities are going to be prioritized for guys that are already invested in this particular project. They're going to get the first option to be able to invest. And when they see those gains coming back, inshallah ta'ala, they're going to be very motivated to deploy their capital again, as has happened for Sam historically in the US, alhamdulillah. His investors have become millionaires. Some of them were just middle-class folks that have now become extremely wealthy, Allah barik, on the back of investing, and there's no riba involved. So, right now, if you are considering investing in real estate and you don't want to deal with the risks and the stress of the real estate market around the world due to all of the terrible things that are taking place, Dubai is thriving. And Sam is providing you a riba-free opportunity, alhamdulillah, with 50% returns. There's only 3 million dirham left. Only 3 million dirham left. They've already raised the overwhelming majority. So you can get involved now. At the link below, apply to speak with one of his team members, inshallah. And hopefully Allah puts barakah in this for you and, it's successful. With that said, may Allah bless you. Let's get back to the podcast. With that said,
I think we can start with, since you mentioned the fitnah, I think we can start with the US stuff because you mentioned.
Start with the US. Okay, let's start with the US. So, what's going on, man? So, Donald Trump, lie, man, the guy knows how to meet news headlines. So look, he has recently mentioned, he's not recently, but he's really doubled down on Greenland. So literally, I think it was the 2nd or 1st of Jan, took Maduro, and initially the whole framing was this is for drug cartel, but since then they've come out and mentioned clearly. I saw a video of JD Vance. In fact, we'll play it.
Taking out a dictator in Venezuela. How does that help the average American? Well, a few things, Jesse. First of all, what it means is we're going to be able to control the incredible natural resources of Venezuela, which is good for America in a few ways. Number one, it allows us to put leverage on our enemies. Number two, it makes sure that if Americans need high quality, low cost power, we're always going to have access to it. And then the third thing is it does demonstrate American military excellence, which makes people afraid to cross us in the future. Some of the best ways that you maintain the peace is to make it clear that you carry a very strong sword if you ever need to use it.
Like, this video is like the most truthful I've seen a politician. He said, one of the resources, and we wanted what? Wanted people to know, don't mess with us. This is our part of the world. Don't mess with us. Like, we just want to basically put fear on our enemies. So that was truthful. But that also indicates that right now, the US is no holds bar looking out for its own interests. So next thing, Greenland, let's take that, right? And there's many reasons as to why they could want it. Rare earth minerals, right? Greenland is rich with rare earth minerals. These are materials for batteries, solar power, semiconductors, defense systems, wind turbines, and currently China controls 70 to 80% of global rare earth production. Wow. So 70 to 80%, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's crazy, right? Number two, Arctic shipping lanes. So actually, if I'm not mistaken, those shipping lanes are not really much in use. But if Russia starts to dominate that and whatnot, that creates a whole mess and is a position of strength for Russia. They want to capitalize on the situation. So just some stats here. So Northern Sea Route cuts Asia-Europe shipping time by 40%. Right, wow. If you take Arctic shipping lanes. So Shanghai to Rotterdam, 32 days via the Suez Canal, 90 days via the Arctic shipping lanes, right? So you can understand why they would want that. Number three, energy for AI infrastructure. Number four, strategic military position. Which, by the way, I think they already can do, right? So just a lot of questions around this, man, is...
But he offered to buy it, though.
He offered to buy it, correct. He did offer to buy it.
I just don't know the price.
He offered to buy it. So...
thing is not for sale.
Yeah.
so
I just sometimes I wonder, like, so how did they manage to do Alaska then back in the day?
Because it was... Russia offered it for sale.
But, like, were the Russians really that ignorant to, like...
I don't think they necessarily maybe even knew. Look, so there's many things about this, right? Number one, like, what direction is the US going in? And I think the reason why this is important to consider...
Also, they increased the budget of Pentagon.
Right, so 1.5 trillion. So it was 1 trillion annually, the defense budget, the war budget, sorry, as they now have renamed it. Now he's 1.5, increased it by
50%.
50%. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what my concerns are here is that this move, if he does it, it breaks NATO, right? Because Greenland is under Denmark. Denmark's NATO is just a NATO ally has basically invaded another NATO allies, land basically, and already Europe is divided. Germany's upset because they actually had a good relationship with Russia, and now the economy is crumbling. UK is weak. We just found out from Dr. Imran, they only have 65,000 people in the military.
That's crazy.
If I remember correctly, they have one of the biggest naval fleets in the world, right?
I don't know, but
quantity-wise.
They got 65,000 guys in the military. That's what
active.
I know. Yeah, so point being is that Trump can strike a deal with Russia, but Europe, man, it leaves it in tatters. Germany's upset. They had a good thing going with Russia. Now their economy's in tatters. So my point is that these moves America's making, of course, we're not political analysts. We don't like, but we are entrepreneurs. We're investors. So, Brother Ebrahim, I just want to know, like, what are your thoughts on this? How you does this affect you in any way? You're obviously here in the Middle East, you're in this region. How are you thinking? Because obviously, when these things happen, they do affect, like, on a global level, right? So what are your thoughts? What's your take on this?
Sheikh, I think very nervous, or I wouldn't say, but I think more concerned.
Anxious, yeah.
Anxious, concerned, sit yet. But the pieces being moved around the chessboard all indicate the fact that the US budget, the war budget, has gone to $1.5 trillion. I think there's political commentators who've mentioned, okay, so it's wartime now.
Yep.
That you have equipment, military equipment being shipped to Europe.
Oh, really? I did not know.
Yeah.
America's moving.
America is moving military equipment to Europe. You have Putin who's saying that the US and Russia have early defense warning systems. So if we send nukes or any missiles to each other, we'd know about it and we can deal with it. However, Europe doesn't have that. So let's go. He's also tested.
He said that?
Yeah. He's also tested.
And he's upset with Europe.
He is exceptionally upset.
He is upset with Europe.
So he's targeted the biggest European gas storage facility in Ukraine in the last 2 days. He's used a new type of missile called an Oreshik or something like that. I don't know how you actually pronounce it. Something like that. And he says no one can stop it. And let's put a target anywhere in Kiev. Anywhere in Ukraine. And bring whatever defense systems you wish. And I'm ready for the challenge to say, you're not going to stop me. Let's go.
Mm.
So I think Europe in particular is in a very weak position. I see this, honestly, I believe the days of America are over. I understand that they're displaying dominance and power and they're making a lot of these moves. But, I'll always say these are the last kicks. And I won't continue on that. Said it enough. But, so they're just trying to salvage. And on what's happening is they're just alienating themselves more and more by doing what they're doing. So they're very upset that parties or other countries are now less dependent on the dollar, less dependent on them. The dollar is in decline. Parties are trading with each other. They're bypassing. Previously, when they waved the stick and said it has to be this way, parties would listen. You now have tankers going and filling up. Right now, or as of yesterday, there were 60. Regardless of what he's doing and capturing those military the oil tankers, 16 tankers floated or formed by different countries went ahead and filled oil in Venezuela. And this is stuff for you. Do what you want. So the rest of the world is no longer sitting back, and hence he's being forced into these abnormal or very aggressive decisions. And the rest of the world understand that if we oblige like we used to, the cost of compliance is greater than the cost of conflict. So you're going to have conflict. I strongly believe that. And this is something, if you look at our episodes last year, before all of this even arose, 2026, we said, is a year of very serious geopolitical unrest. Yep. And I see that now unfolding. For businesses, it's not just as individuals, whether we'd be part of in all wars is human cost. It's not about whether we're in the regions for that. But certainly as businessmen or entrepreneurs, we certainly are exposed. You'd have banking solutions being, or banking or money transfers being rerouted. You've had that where China and BRICS have developed their own system, and that's what enraged the US. They started accepting payment without dollars, and hence
did they actually start?
Yeah.
What were they expect?
They're settling in yen. They're settling in their own currencies.
Wow.
They also bypassing the SWIFT system, or they've developed a model where they can bypass the SWIFT system.
Mm-hmm.
So that's enraging the Western, or I call it the Western hegemony as such, and saying, hey, we also have a right to exist in the world, and fine, you don't want us in your system, we'll just produce our own. And whoever's done that has faced severe repercussions. Very important. I mean, there were a lot of reasons why Gaddafi went, but if you look at that, he was very against the dollar. He wanted a gold dinar backed by, or a currency backed by gold, outside the dollar, or not shifting away from the dollar. And that was one of the main reasons why he was taken out. So, but just on our everyday, day-to-day lives, forget all the geopolitics, most of the goods today in the world are shipped from China. So whether it's your electronics, your appliances, or wherever, a lot of the guys in e-com, you're buying, you're producing, etc. in China. And if China is sanctioned and unable to ship, then you're very exposed. You wouldn't have product to sell. So I think that's key. The whole trade route thing, yes, it sounds nice that you can ship, or you can cut the cost of, the time of shipping by up to 40% using the Arctic lanes. But the Arctic lanes for most of the year is not possible to use because it's severely hindered by ice. It's also you need, not all vessels can sail through those routes. You need icebreakers and things like that. So it's a lot more costlier despite being shorter, and it's a lot more difficult.
Look, I know you thought it was a scam, or maybe you thought it was too good to be true. But on this podcast, I've been telling you about an opportunity that you can use to learn to make money. There are people that are making 10K a month, Allahumma barik, within 90 days. They're making their first dollar online and they're becoming financially independent, Allahumma barik. This is brother Abu Lahya's IMA, Influencer Marketing Accelerator. It shows you how to make money online, halal, through influencer marketing deals. I got off the phone to him and he's just told me that one of the guys from this channel is about to become their first millionaire, million dollars cash. He's just passed the $800,000 mark, and he came in the summertime. I just done a live the other day with his inner circle members. These are guys that are on the IMA program that have done their 10K a month. Allahumma barik. They are annually making 10K. Some of them, the next goal is 50K a month. Some of them is more. Some of them is a bit less. And I'm like, this is the real deal. Brothers, I've got so much to lose, like to gas you for no reason. The reason I share this with you is because I don't have anything to offer those that want to learn how to make money online. I genuinely don't. I have a network of high net worth and ultra high net worth Muslims, but people are always asking me. And the only place that I just really trust that I can say to you, go here and hopefully you can learn how to make some money online, inshallah ta'ala, is Abu Lahya's IMA Accelerator. So just so you know, it requires hard work, 4 hours of work every single day, 90 days. It's not cheap. It is expensive. And they reject most applications. But if you get there, inshallah ta'ala, you can get that financial independence, do your hijrah. You don't have to work. Bob's looking over you because you're taking a bit longer than you should have taken on your salah break. Come on, like that's not really the kind of situation you want to be in. So apply at the link below and don't let another year pass. And now you're hearing about the 4th millionaire, 5th millionaire, or, so on and so forth. Apply at the link below.
So I think, it's honestly what's going to happen. No one can predict. We go back to your guidance. Focus on our ibadah and all those wonderful gems that you mentioned. But I think particularly in business, the supply chain, the immediate risk I see is supply chains being disrupted. And you have to prepare for that. So, start producing some of your goods in other jurisdictions, things like that.
Maybe, do you think it's worthwhile exploring producing goods where you stay?
Yeah, I think
focusing on manufacturing
homegrown,
local
manufacturing,
manufacture
for long term.
Sounds nice, and yes, a lot of times you can probably do that, but I think there's some of it would just not be possible.
Yeah.
You cannot
Or
say,
at least the basic.
living in UK, I want to start producing phones in the UK. It's not going to happen tomorrow, right?
So maybe then the focus should be on producing things that, like having businesses.
Necessities.
Yeah, because Allah protects us, but like, imagine a situation where the skies are dangerous, the sea is dangerous. Doesn't matter what country, like people are already focused on consumerism. I spoke with a brother who was like going through like a doomsday scenario, and he spoke with like his wealth manager. He's the guy who's helped a lot of these Russian oligarchs, when they got sanctioned and whatnot, and just before like moved their wealth out. of like different countries where it was going to be problematic for them and so on and so forth. And he was saying, look, if such a situation happens, like, what do I do? He said, just farms, buy farms. He said, you know why? Because people are always going to need what's on the farm. They're always going to need milk. They're always going to need wheat. They're always going to need just farms.
So, Sheikh, food, we mentioned this in the other episode, the largest owner of farmland in the US is Bill Gates, right?
Yes.
From a technocrat to farmland. Well, he has other motives with it, but anyway, we stick to the food security. So food security is going to become very important in the next few years, I see. Beyond food, water. So water resource is critical. And
you'd be surprised as to how many countries in the region have almost zero, like literally no food security whatsoever. It's so bad to the point, actually, me and Brother Sam visited the gentleman the other day, Sir Ahmed. He was telling us that how Dubai is the biggest re-exporter of food to pretty much the entire Middle East.
Oh, wow.
And I asked him why. He's like, because most of them don't have proper setup.
Logistics.
So they just the proper logistics like Dubai has, where it's safe. So all of them, like countries in the North Africa and East Africa and stuff, and obviously the rest of the Middle East, they rely, like Dubai is the lifeline for them. Imagine, Dubai is the lifeline for them because they ship it through various different ways. So all of the food that comes to these countries actually gets re-exported from here.
From here.
And this is from a guy, 4th generation. We sat down with him, amazing gentleman, and he was just explaining how this is done. So it just tells you a little bit about how fragile these countries are, and they all relying on Dubai as their source.
A couple of quick points I want to mention, Sheikh, on what Brother Ebrahim beautifully put, covered pretty much all the points on US, Venezuela, and things like that. A couple of funny things. I've not fact-checked it, so maybe someone can fact-check it. But UK is talking about going to war, that video that you showed us on one of the podcasts, right?
Yeah.
That
Chief of the Army Staff.
Chief of the Army Staff was saying that our sons and children have to be sacrificed, something like that, right?
He goes, families in Britain will know what sacrifice means.
Oh, wow. And
actually said that.
Bro.
Yeah. And they are talking and thinking about going to war. They cannot afford anything in the country. The country's falling, right? So this needs to be fact-checked. But I think they're basically charging tourists £2 a night in their hotel stay to fund the war.
What?
To what extent can you go? You have to charge the tourists £2 a night in their hotel stay, +2, that goes to the government to fund the war and fund the thing.
If I heard it from anyone else, I would have thought it was a joke.
No, seriously, I have not fact-checked those. Sheikh can fact-check it, but I have heard from a semi-reliable source. But the point being, regardless of that fact, let's say it's not fact-checked, regardless of the fact that the economy is not doing good, how can you go to war? How can you sustain this, right? Talking about the United States, another fun fact, the Department of War, they call it, right? It used to be called Department of War before. Did you guys know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So since the birth of the United States of America until 1947, the department was called Department of War. Now hear this out. What happened in 1947? America became undisputed superpower, right? Then they changed the name.
A lot of things happened.
Yeah, a lot of things happened, but they become undisputed superpower. Then when they became undisputed superpower, they changed the name from Department of War to Department of Defense. Okay. Fast forward now, they changed it back to Department of War. Now, if you draw parallels, when America is actually secured in their own skin, we're good, man. They have to play diplomacy. We're not worried about other people. That's when they changed the name to Department of Defense, right? But when they changed the name to Department of Defense, they actually invaded the most countries. Vietnam, Iraq, Afghanistan, right? And when they were named Department of War, actually they were not the number one country in the world. So they had to give the impression, don't mess with us. like how the VP is saying now.
Yeah.
So if we draw parallels, and I agree with what I think the fall has started, right?
If someone has to tell you don't mess with me,
Yes.
it means you have no respect.
And
right?
change the name to Department of War and increase the budget. These are all noises. These are not signals. This is just to show that we're still the big bad boy. Don't mess with us, right? And when they were called Department of War until 1947, they only had a few dozens of military bases in the world. And then when they changed the name from Department of War to Department of Defense in 1947 till last year, it went to like 800 plus military bases in the world. So Defense increased the military base. When they're Department of War, they were actually, it's the other way around. They're actually defending themselves.
So, also to add to that, the guy that they have that manages the Department of War is actually a military guy. Like,
Yep.
he's in through and through.
Yep.
You know, he's got like Crusader tattoos.
Yeah, Pete Hexet.
Yeah, he's talking about how we can't have anyone, even like from the admin side of the War Department, that's out of shape, fat, this, that. Like, they're really just like they you know, a guy who loves war, likes war.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They put a savage there. So yeah, man, it all is indicative. But do you think it could just be like a framing thing?
That's what I'm saying, Sheikh. So like even when they were named Department of War, it was a framing thing before. And then when they were actually named Department of Defense, actually that's when they were the real deals. But them renaming it back to Department of War, I think it's part of framing strategy. But one thing for sure is I think if United States falls, it's going to be dirty for everyone in the world. So nobody should think that, oh, we'll let the United States fall and we're going to be all just fine. No, the whole world economy falls. United States falls, the whole world economy falls, and it will be a great reset, and it will take a lot of time.
Not just that, it also creates a vacuum of power, right?
Yep. So it's going to be chaos.
Yeah.
So it's not like if it falls, like it's a great thing immediately. It's going to be chaos.
So my
It'll be
question to
painful.
you, Sam, is what's the end game? What do you think is the end game? Okay, before it was Venezuela, now Greenland. Then where's the end game? Where does it stop? What does he want to achieve?
So can I mention something that could inform what he says? So one of the things that I started doing, right, and I'm going to make it a habit, inshallah, is looking at these think tanks. Because their articles that they publish, they inform what foreign policy is going to be. So where do the government come up with these foreign policies from? They rely on experts, researchers that do the research, statistics, this, and then based on that, they come to you and say, hey, listen, this is our publication. I think based on this, you know, you should, this is the problem basically. Now you create a solution for it. So there's one called CFR, right? Council for Foreign Relations. And it's actually very educational, man. And they released an article in December. And the article is Visualizing 2026 5 Foreign Policy Trends to Watch. So look at this article. This article is telling you these are going to be foreign policy trends you're going to see. Right? So it mentions two things that are directly relevant to what we're discussing right now. The first thing it mentions is that you are going to see a race towards rare earth minerals. Because right now, the accelerating race for critical minerals, we'll put it on screen so people can read with me. So right now they say the global critical mineral supply chain is highly concentrated, creating dangerous dependencies. The Democratic Republic of Congo, for example, is home to more than 70% of the world's cobalt supply. For many rare earth elements, China maintains near complete control of mined and processed materials. Reliance on any one country leaves the United States vulnerable to coercion, price manipulation, and supply chain disruption, right? And these critical earth minerals are used for things that I mentioned beginning, you know, defense, this, that, infrastructure, batteries, so on and so forth. So look at this graph on screen, yeah? So you can see here, 67% of Earth's graphite is mined in China, and 96% of it is processed in China. So the graph on the right is processing, and you can see China's processing almost everything, right? Rare earths, 69% of them in China, 91% of them are processed in China. Cobalt, this is Dominican Republic, 76%, and 78% of it is processed in China. So they literally have a monopoly on this. So now makes sense, the whole Greenland situation, right? And this is just for survival. It's for military, it's for defense, infrastructure, production, GDP. You need these things, right? The second thing is, and this one, to be honest, for me is even scarier, is the end of arms control. So, the US,
The nuclear
treaty, yeah. So
comes to an end this year.
Exactly. So in February, the last remaining arms control treaty on limiting nuclear weapons between the United States and Russia is set to expire. The new strategic arms reduction treaty is called New START. Bilateral agreement aims to maintain strategic stability and avoid a renewed arms race. This is the Cold War, basically. With enough nuclear weapons to hold each other at risk already, the logic goes the two countries could each meet their national security aims with less than 1,550 deployed nuclear weapons. The treaty also encompassed rigorous verification methods to assure to each side that the other was complying. New START established detailed limits on deployed strategic delivery systems, blah, blah, so on and so forth. Now, this is coming to an end. In 2026, the United States and Russia will hold 87% of the world's nuclear bombs and warheads. With the end of the New START in sight, the United States and Russia face futures with no legally binding restrictions on their nuclear arsenals and no requirements for transparency. Other past treaties, blah, blah, so on and so forth. So my point is that Allahu Alam, at the end game, I mean, this is these guys telling you that this is what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to mitigate these problems here. So the end game has to, in my weak and humble view, be something that's mitigating this. Okay, so I have some bad news. I am pre-diabetic. I just got my bloods done recently because a good friend of mine, Umar, aka the Muslim PT, he said, Imran, get your bloods done, I'll check them for you. Found out that I'm pre-diabetic, my estrogen is high, unfortunately. Just to clarify, my testosterone is not low, but there's something going on inside of me which makes my estrogen high, and a bunch of other things. I'm not a scientist, but all of these things have been causing me brain fog, fatigue. I've been sleeping for like 9 hours a day. I've not been optimal. I keep crashing in the middle of the day. I eat food, I crash. So I had to quickly just get my life changed. I've tried to get in shape for 15 years. I needed this wake up call, but the wake up call wasn't enough. I've got this brother Umar, Muslim PT, by my side. He's helping me, he's training me, he's helping me with my diet program, and I just want to share with you guys. I've lost 2.5 kg in like the last 10 days. Alhamdulillah, and my brain is so clear. I'm on a calorie deficit right now, and I'm on such an extreme calorie deficit. But he's given me a meal plan that's allowing me to have like the healthy foods that are going to keep me going. And he's giving me supplements to take that are helping to kill my cravings and making my calorie deficit easy. I'll be honest with you, the first 5 days were hard, super hard. But suddenly on the 6th day, I had gone through most of the day on less than 500 calories, I'm not exaggerating, and my energy was 10. Do I look energetic right now? I am on no more. Today, I am no more than 1,100 calories, and that's how I'm going to end my day, right? But the foods are good, healthy, protein focused, and supplements. So, look, if you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, no doubt there's going to be some underlying issues, but you can reverse it, inshallah ta'ala, with Allah's permission, His tawfiq. And if you're in your 20s, then you don't want to wait till you get to this point where you have this wake-up call, because I'll be honest with you, a year from now, I could actually have been diabetic. And we hear about parents being diabetic and friends, but you don't know what it's about. Being diabetic is actually such it's such a suffering, man. May Allah cure those who are sick. Amin. So if you want to get your life in shape, I'm telling you, this guy, Umar, is the guy, man, with Allah's permission. He's not going to just work with you to help you get buff. I don't know, you don't really care about the body. If you did, you would have done it. But he's going to help you get, energetic, focus. You're going to have energy throughout the day, and you're going to be healthy, inshallah ta'ala. So if you've been neglecting your health up until now, and you feel like there could be some issues, maybe you're experiencing issues now, inshallah, it's not too late. And it's a guy who actually cares. That's what I love about the guy. He actually cares and goes out of his way to help myself and get in shape and make sure I'm progressing. So you can apply for his coaching program at the link below. Inshallah, I really believe you won't regret it. And our life is important, man. To think that I could become diabetic and won't be able to be there for my kid. My diet, of course, only Allah knows when death's written, but you don't want to destroy yourself with your own hands. Like, what a travesty, right? So go to the link below, check out his program, and inshallah, hopefully, you're going to join me as one of the Muslim PTs, guys. So go.
So, Sheikh, those treaties that they had, but
when were those treaties placed? Do you know? Sorry to cut you off, but
Let me check.
no.
The treaty.
When did it come into effect?
Mm-hmm.
Let's ask ChatGPT.
But the Sheikh, to kind of comment and follow up on what you're saying. So you're saying that's the end game, right? But by them taking over Greenland, how does it shift the balance when it comes to
new F materials, right? Like raw, like as in.
I mean, but does it have that much?
Greenland's crazy.
Like, I mean, how much? Like, what
they say it's hard to put it out,
right?
But it's got a lot.
Is it going to be enough to sort of balance?
If not, then another country.
So you'd see a lot of countries getting freedom or liberated now.
Yeah.
Sorry?
You'd see a lot of countries.
Democracy. We're going to bring
democracy now.
Honest oil, for example. 8th April 2010 is when it came to play. 8th April 2010. Right?
There's a lot more.
That was, when I'm not mistaken, they actually had a... no. Well, yeah, 8th April 2010. So, and now they basically, the conflict that's just happened, is another treaty going to be made?
It was Barack Obama.
Sheikh, war is theater.
This theater?
War is theater. And each one is, you try and manage it. And, as you say, it's a framing thing, etc. Scary thing is, end of the day, there's still, with all the technology around, there's still humans. And any error.
Yep.
So go there, act strong, do this, but do not engage. But any error on the front line could set off a chain reaction that no one wants.
Catastrophic, yep.
Of course. Because
that is the issue. No one wants war.
Yeah, the bigger
Even
thing,
them, they don't want it.
Yes, and the bigger thing for US to worry about, it's not one man calling the shot, right? There's elections every 4 years. And they have to create chaos internally, the other party, to win the election. And we're seeing, I'm not saying they're doing it, but in Minnesota, ICE agents shooting that lady, unfortunately, it's part of the internal politics.
Yes.
So there's, like Ray Dalio puts it, when there's external chaos and then also internal chaos, and you have debts reaching $38 trillion, and new technology is coming, AI, and you need power, supply, all these things to keep up.
And other world powers are starting to also become a threat.
Correct. It's not looking good overall. Overall, like things are changing rapidly.
So let me ask you a question, Sam.
Yeah.
Obviously, the real estate space, you're based in US, but you've been moving over, your operations and your portfolio over here. You're going to launch your DIFC fund, regulated fund, and it's going to be real estate is going to be the primary asset, or the only asset, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. Asset backed it will be.
Asset backed, right? So how are you thinking about this? Like, as in, things are looking positive still, investors should not worry. Like, what's your thoughts? What's your strategy?
The main thing that sets it apart.
Are you also speaking to experts about this?
Yes. Yes, Sheikh, absolutely. The main thing that sets it apart here is the leadership. And this is not only me saying it. I was with a gentleman this week. I was with a few groups this week. One of them, actually, he consulted, he did feasibility study for Emaar when they were doing downtown before Burj Khalifa, when it was a military base. Burj Khalifa, Dubai Mall, all that, he did the feasibility study. Then he also did feasibility study for Palm Jebel Ali. So he's been around for a long time, Englishman. And currently, he works for a senior person in Abu Dhabi in the government from the royal family. So, and these are coming from guys like him. The leadership here, may Allah bless them, especially in Dubai, it's truly unique, truly unique. Actually, the government policies are there to actually help you. It's not to create hurdle. It's not to create hardship. It's actually to create ease. And they actually know how to create demand for a population to move in. So a lot of things here are different. And people might say, okay, oh, well, it's the war turmoil. Like all the places are in turmoil, so people have no choice but to come to Dubai. I'm not going to mention other places' name, but there's so many other places to go to that don't have turmoil. But people are not going to those places. There's reasons people are coming here. And it is a Muslim nation. It is a Muslim country where you hear adhans loud, everybody's proud. Or Friday prayer time, everybody gives up their parking. There's like, man, Muslims are praying right now. Like streets are blocked, schools are closed early. It is a Muslim country. But even if you're not Muslim, they're not feeling uncomfortable here. So it's like it does not really exist in a lot of places in the world. I don't know of any where everybody feels comfortable to be here while being Muslim is so out there, so loud. I shared like one of the school, British curriculum school, but even the Islamic education in a British curriculum school here, I think it would surpass a lot of the private Islamic schools in the US. Even though the school is not Islamic, but the Islamic education they have in the school. So in all essence, it's a Muslim country, right? And there's no denying it. No matter what you see, and maybe your opinion is formed based on what you see from the influencers on Instagram and social media, and you think Dubai is a particular type, I think it's your fault. You watch those influencers. You shouldn't be watching them. You should actually come here and
be watching us.
Yeah, you should actually come here, form your opinion, and see how normal people live their lives, right? But saying all that, I think this country, this Emirat in particular, and the region is in a very unique position when it comes to that, because people are here working for people. They want people to come. And they're also studying the mistakes the West made, right? And it's actually good that you don't have to worry about your midterm elections. And everybody here wants the country to not only survive, but thrive, right? And to attract population. So I see us in a very unique position, but of course the fundamentals are fundamentals. Having said all that, you cannot just say, it's the leadership. If you're here on a 50-year cycle, you're going to win. If you buy anything today, you can close your eyes, put a check, buy anything. Look back at it 50 years later, you're going to be the winner. That's, I think, Brother Ebrahim also agrees. The question is next 3 years, next 5 years, next 7 years. That's where you got to look at the fundamentals. You cannot be crazy, right? But overall, 50-year vision, if you look at the 50-year chart, literally you can pick anything in Dubai today. 50 years later, you're going to see your kids, inshallah, your grandchildren are going to thank you that my grandfather actually picked this plot for us.
Why do you say that?
Because first of all, the waterfront side that's on the shore, it cannot just keep rebuilding itself. Actual limited supply. Then if you look at the whole Emirat, limited supply. Currently, it has touched 4 million population. Is expected to go up to 10 million by 2040.
Double, yes.
Yes, more than double. Like
it's a mandate.
Yes.
It's an actual government mandate.
Yes.
2.5x in the next 10, 15 years, right? So in order to support that infrastructure with the hospitals, with the roads, with the schools, with the real estate, with the places to live, anything you're closer to the inland, anything you're closer to the master communities now, or you see the highways, for example, Al-Ain Road, where the new roads are going, where the government is building towards. So if you're smart about it, or if you work with smart people who know how to pick lands, and if you're like, bro, I'm here for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years.
This is going to be in your presentation, Righteous Rise, right? Inshallah.
But I didn't even know I'm presenting, by the way. That's what I was telling them.
Yeah.
When you announced, I was like, oh, okay.
I know you didn't. I know you didn't.
Yeah, but inshallah.
But these are the hacks that we want.
Yeah.
Al-Ain Road, buy something there where you can see the highway.
Inshallah.
Yeah.
But the key being, Sheikh, alhamdulillah, may Allah actually bless the rulers here. They actually care for the people when it comes to growing the infrastructure and everything. And this I would never think myself that I would actually say that about a leader. Honestly, I'm not from the camp. I was always entrepreneurs in general are people who don't conform. So it's like always like, I'm going to go against this. I'm going to go against that. I'm going to go against that. So for entrepreneurs, it's only me.
They go where the benefit is.
Yes, it's for thousands of entrepreneurs to actually say, wow, this place is actually different. It is actually different. And especially coming from people who have lived under other systems and other infrastructure, it's actually different. It's very unique.
So, no, wonderfully put. And just to clarify, particularly on the topic, if we came across wrong, no, I'm very bullish on the region.
Yeah.
No, and Dubai has proven itself in times of conflict. There's an influx of people. I agree. The mandate of 2040 is double the population or more than double. And that opens an opportunity wherever you are and wherever business you do, not just real estate. I mean, real estate is a fundamental and a thriving
necessity, essential
asset class here. You open a tea shop.
Yep.
Would double the population. Now one can argue, okay, but there's already, bro,
Right.
population is doubling. Anything you get involved in,
Yes.
you're going to have demand or this. There needs more. You need more of that.
Correct.
So the future for the region looks bright. I agree. There may be some bumps along the road, but no. It's the future does look bright for the region without a doubt. If that
Yes.
came across in
No, Sheikh.
I just want to know, but I want to clarify.
I know exactly what you meant. And just talking about tea, I'll make a quick point. It brings, and maybe we can segue to Brother Mohammed's recent visit to the Billion Summit, but there is another, not a summit, exhibition coming. Fahad already booked the ticket for myself. I forgot the name. I think it's called World Coffee Exhibition or Forum, something like that. Mm-hmm. So it's a 3-day exhibition for all the coffee lovers in the world. So last year,
definitely need it.
Yeah, bro, I'm
he's
excited.
up all night. This guy's up all night.
next week in Dubai, Sheikh.
A coffee what?
I forgot if it's called Forum or Exhibition, but there will be.
I need to find a sponsor there.
Yes.
I'm looking for a sponsor for Charma Bay.
Yes, yes. There will be. Sheikh,
have
think
to go
about
to
it.
this, inshallah.
Yes. Sheikh, think about it. There will
Wait,
be.
we should get the forum to sponsor us.
Yeah.
There will be 5,000 vendors, and these are baristas, these are roasters, these are coffee beans producers, these are cafe shops, everything related to the coffee, the whole supply chain.
It's the benefit of the network.
Dubai
right?
is bringing the whole supply chain of the world in one place for 3 days. Literally, bro.
What day
Now,
is it going to be?
18th, 19th, and 20th. Next week, inshallah.
Perfect.
I'll have Fahad book one for you.
Sheikh,
The date's a day pass.
No, please.
Yeah, and we'll go together, inshallah.
I'm actually in the process of trying to find a tea or coffee manufacturer or distributor
Yep.
to sponsor
Child
Charma Bay.
There you go.
Nice.
There you go. And you find the whole world's the best of the best in
I'm
one
going to close
place
the deal on that day, inshallah.
for 3 days.
You should also then attend Gulf Food in February.
Will you come with me?
Yeah, we can go together. There you'll find the actual brands, and the brand would be more likely to sponsor you than. I think this would be more raw supply.
Right.
The brand would be more sponsored than a supply.
They'll also bring
I'm
like
sure they would
cafe
be
shops and everything.
They would
Let
be
me ask you,
brands.
why you
Go for both.
Just because you like coffee?
Just because I like coffee.
Okay.
I want to taste like all the coffees
Let's
from the
go,
world.
brother. This is going to be live, inshallah.
I need
You know
to be,
what?
I
I'm
need
not
to
going to
be
sleep for a week there.
Let's make
I like how. Why am I excluded from this? I want to go there too. Of course.
Let's make a whole cave thing out of it.
Inshallah,
Let's let all the
inshallah.
brothers know.
Let's do it.
Let's
Yeah,
go
man.
together.
Let's do it.
Can you find the link and tell Zishan send it out to everyone?
World of Coffee Dubai.
What day are you going
World
on?
of coffee.
I'm going Monday.
So that's going to be our day. Monday, cave, coffee. All right, cool. All right, just and just tell Wasim to vlog it. Inshallah, message him now. Yeah.
Inshallah.
All right. Question. Just
Sorry, Sheikh. On this, and you can carry on. So you're talking about one event, right?
Yes. Exactly the point I was trying to make. Yes.
Oh, are you going there?
No, Sheikh. You go ahead. You go ahead. But
Expo Center or Expo
Yes.
City.
yeah.
How many events do you think they have planned for the year, Sheikh?
how many?
800.
Insane.
In
Insanity.
excess of 3 events a day.
Yep.
How big is Expo City?
It's quite
It's
huge.
literally a city.
Is it just
It literally
He's a statistician.
know.
Yes, that's my place. Yeah. It's literally a city, Dubai South. So the point is, Sheikh. So the main point here is any industry you take, Dubai brings the best
The
of
best
best,
of them
best
together,
of
yeah.
best. And just before you comment on your experience, bro, another thing, Ray Dalio recently mentioned that UAE, Abu Dhabi, and Dubai are the Silicon Valleys of investments. What does he mean by Silicon Valley? Silicon Valley is a talent pool. It's the whole infrastructure for tech. Like, why do companies open up in Silicon Valley? Because you get everything. You get the best talent, the best infrastructure, best system, everything for tech. So when you make it Silicon Valley of investments, meaning that you have everyone that you need in one place. And I actually recently faced it. Like one of my friends, Brother Yusuf, is trying to expand his stem cells operation and regenerative medical center here, right? So he just casually asked me, bro, if you can line up some meetings for me, I don't understand. So we lined up 6 meetings back to back. Okay. The best tax consultants who understand US jurisdiction, Cayman Islands, UK, and UAE. First meeting. Okay. Second, CPA. From US, from UK, and UAE, CPAs. Second meeting. Third meeting, 3 medical directors, because you need, because it's going to take time for the doctors to get licensed. We need a fractional medical director. So under his license, we can start. 3 medical directors. Then the marketing guy. So like 6 back-to-back people. In order to, I've been in the business in US for a long time. In order to arrange that just in US, you're talking months.
If not years.
If not years. And this was done on a 4-day notice. Everybody came to one location, Brother Ebrahim. 6 back-to-back meetings, convenient.
And those guys are not even the best. As in, they're great, but there's probably going to be people that...
Always there's better.
Yeah.
But they were great.
They're great.
They're great, And within 4-day notice, just because of, alhamdulillah, Allah has blessed us with the network, the connection. A lot of them were through the cave. But the point being, they all came. And Yusuf was surprised. It's like, bro, how did you pull it off? I was like, it's not me. It's the country.
So
because the energy comes from top down. Everybody's like, go. We don't have time to walk here. We run.
I just want to mention 2 things on this. Yeah. The first thing I want to mention is that a lot of people get caught up in and I'm talking generally here, like in like a lot of geopolitical hype, right? But what you have to understand is that things are messy, man. Things are complicated. I'm Pakistani, right? I love my people, right? I love my food. I love going to Pakistan. But, one may argue that Pakistan has great relations with China, who oppresses the Uyghurs. And that's hugely problematic. And one may argue that Pakistan's got like a nice strong stance when it comes to Kashmir and Gaza. But where's your stance when it comes to the Uyghurs? Now, I completely understand why Pakistan has relations with China. It gives them leverage with regards to India, blah, blah, so on and so forth. If they didn't have that, maybe China and India could become friends and that would become an existential threat to Pakistan. I don't know. I don't care. It's not really my thing. But what I'm trying to get at here is that at that level, and when you look at things at that level, like things happen, which I don't understand.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, bro, I think unfortunately, every place is like that. And what you don't want to do is lose out on what you could do for yourself and your family. Like, how does it affect you? Like, if I live in Pakistan, of course I have to have a concern for my weaker brothers. I make dua for them, whatnot, so on and so forth. But if Pakistan houses me, homes me, and I have a great life there, then great. Do you know what I'm saying? If I move to, for example, Bahrain, Qatar, Saudi, here, Dubai, where we are, alhamdulillah, we live our life, but we don't get involved in things that happen at that level. And we would miss out on so much khair that actually you need.
Sure. Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So my point is that
Give me the hadith that give us the hadith that you quoted me the other day. We're having a conversation about the 200-liter water.
So the Messenger said, إذا بلغ الماء قلتين فلم يحمل الخبث. Right? That when the
again, sorry.
إذا بلغ الماء قلتين إذا بلغ الماء القلتين وكما قال لم يحمل الخبث. وكما قال that when water reaches the equivalent of 200 liters, any filth now that you add to it will not make the water impure. Right? So for example, if I have a swimming pool and you throw some najasa in there, does that make the water impure? If I put najasa in this, it makes it impure. I cannot do wudu, I cannot drink it, right? But if I throw najasa inside of the ocean, inside of a swimming pool, will it make the water impure? No, right? Unless it changes the taste, color, so on and so forth. But so the point is that you've got to look at the places where there's the most benefit. And if there's some khabath, if there's some things that are distasteful, intolerable, you don't like, لم يحمل الخبث. Like, as in, now let's benefit from the good. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people, they prevent themselves from khair because they're looking at things that don't affect. That's why I love what you guys said. Come and see how normal people live, bro. That's not a conversation that you get involved in on a day-to-day basis, and you benefit and you thrive. And we make dua for the whole Muslim world.
Yes,
we make dua Allah brings peace. We make dua Allah strengthens and unites the hearts, and He protects us from fitnah. I mean, we do that, right? But at the same time, don't prevent yourself from good, because where you are is worse, brother. You're literally in the belly of the beast. So what are you talking about? The second thing I mentioned is that, we started off the conversation a bit negative, a bit gloomy, a bit doomy, and so on and so forth. But, I think our religion is beautiful, man, because it's really optimistic. The Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that if the hour is going to come and you have a seed in your hand, plant it. I.e., despite times of fitnah, despite times of chaos, Armageddon, brother, the end of the world.
Yes, still
be productive.
Yep.
Be productive. right? So I would like to add this as a sixth advice to the 5 advices I gave at the beginning. Be productive. And that's why I love that there's chaos happening in the world. Worship Allah Azza wa Jal, seek knowledge, study, make dua, get away from fitna, seek afiyah from Allah Azza wa Jal, and
Positive and productive.
be positive and productive, man. Be productive. And if this is a place in the world where you can be productive, why prevent yourself from that harm? I'll keep it real with you. Just don't get involved in politics. Like you come here, if you don't get involved in politics, you'll thrive. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just focus on the 5 meters around you. Focus on your wife, your kids, your house, you know. Focus on the 5 meters around you, brother. Most guys don't have focus on the 5 meters around them. And just thrive, bro, and just behave.
Quick,
Please.
it just came to my mind. You know, a lot of the times you get caught up with world politics stuff, right? Without ever thinking that there might be something that they're not telling us. But when we watch movies, like small movies, we always assume that. For example, in Godfather, I don't know if you guys remember in Godfather 1, Luca Brasi.
Yeah.
Luca Brasi was actually friends with Don Corleone. Okay? But the marketplace thought they're not cool. But Luca Brasi always went to Don Corleone, went to Don Corleone's daughter's wedding. And Don Corleone always used Luca Brasi for information, to get information out of the kids. Everybody in the market thought they don't get along together. And this was one of the smallest part of the movie, of like the politics of the 4D chess and everything. So if Italian mob families could play 4D chess, and if we got entertained by it when we watched it, and we think like countries don't play 4D chess.
Imagine real life.
Imagine real life, bro. Imagine countries, the resources they have, the media they have.
Imagine the intel that they know that you don't know.
Then you don't know. And now you think even what they say on the news is accurate, and you're going to be like, oh my God.
That's why Naval Ravikant in his book, he's like, do not involve yourself with politics and dread about it. It's a zero-sum game. You will never know.
Don't take a side.
Just khalas. Sometimes, okay, it's nice to analyze it and like the way that we do, and, you know, just be cautious and make moves. But if you, like you said, if you immerse yourself too much in it, there are some things you will never know.
Just worship Allah and be productive. Worship Allah and be productive.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah? Okay.
I think we went quite deep into it.
But I think that
We enjoyed it, man.
I think if anyone watches this whole thing, they will learn a lot from this little segment.
Yeah.
This is
We didn't plan for it this way. It was a genuine discussion.
Alhamdulillah. طيب, brother Mohamed Souk. So
Yeah, I'm excited for
you
this
went
one.
to the
man.
1 billion follower summit.
yes, sir.
I didn't go. For some reason, I didn't hear about it.
I'm surprised. I thought you would be the first person there.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, even if I heard about it, I probably wouldn't have gone, which is a problem that I have. But I'm happy you went,
Yeah.
and you're going to give us the knowledge.
And the clip you shared, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are those two guys, bro?
I've never seen guys that big.
You saw Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, the Sheikh
Yeah,
of Dubai?
man. Like, this is one of the things I was going to comment about when Brother Sam was talking about the leadership here. You're just sitting casually talking to people and stuff, and I'll get to the people. Every single person you look around, right, left, and center, 5 million followers, 10 million followers, 30 million followers, walking casually around you. And then you see Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, His Highness, just walking casually with his guards. And literally everyone made way.
These even look like guards, bro, by the way.
Yeah, they're just entourage, basically.
Entourage.
And
Yeah.
it's safe. I just really just want to
Absolutely.
mention
And
it's
he's
safe.
just casually walking in. And this is the second time, and he comes every single year.
So, you know what was interesting? Yeah, there was no guns, there's no SUVs before him, behind
Zero.
It just shows the safety, right? By the way, I don't really have experience with the other Emirates. I don't even know Sharjah very well.
Yeah.
I can only speak for Dubai, right?
Yeah.
So, like, Dubai generally, alhamdulillah, bro, like, what is safe, sims khair, alhamdulillah. There's a lot of khair happening from the top as well. So, go on, tell us. So, you saw Mr. Beast?
But it was so crazy. It was so crazy. People were like literally jumping on top of him just to try to get close to him. It was insane.
Damn.
Like, this whole event was so overwhelming. It's overwhelming in every sense of the word, because for 3 days straight, you realize how Dubai is really the epicenter of the world right now. It's so overwhelming, and you've got all these high profile people following, and just really they're all concentrated in one geographical location this big, you know, and they're just...
Was Stephen Bartlett there? Diary
No, he didn't. But I actually missed Mufti Menk to come here to be with you guys. He was actually speaking when I left, and I'm like, no, man, the kid with the brothers is more important.
Yes.
Wallahi, Mufti Menk
I'm happy you made that choice.
Yeah, wallahi, I swear to God, I missed
happy you
it.
made that
Wallah,
choice.
just to be here because I didn't want
No, I
to
appreciate
cancel on this
So
because
Mufti Menk is in there 1
yeah,
billion
man,
summit as well.
yeah.
Yeah, he's social media. Right?
Yeah, bro, this guy perfected social media.
Seriously?
Mufti Menk perfected social media.
So I wonder what you learned. Like, give us some.
I'll tell
what can
you.
we apply to the
Honestly,
cave?
there's a lot of things. First of all, I mean, okay, where do we start? You have to understand right now that the world, in terms of social media and specifically presence online, is becoming it's moving from traditional media and it's becoming all online and now primarily focused on YouTube.
Yeah.
There was a lot of seminars and sessions about YouTube and how YouTube is the new Hollywood, plain and simple.
So what are the moves for 2026 on YouTube?
YouTube. So basically, there was one guy called Jordan Matter. He was giving a lecture. He has 33 million followers, and obviously Mr. Beast.
How many?
33 million.
Oh, wow.
Jordan Matter, and he only started a few years ago. So basically, just in brief, without getting too much in detail, is you just have to have a strategy. You have to be very, very smart and good in storytelling. You have to try to make it within 10 minutes.
So 10 minutes is the new
I mean,
number?
at 10, you have to have your let's say 10 minutes is the sweet spot, right? It can
Interesting,
go.
because it changes year in, year out. Sometimes they optimize for like 45 minutes, hour and a half. So you're saying 10 minutes?
Yeah. Now this is a sweet spot: hook, thumbnail, hook, and hook, thumbnail, retention.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, the retention has to be within to keep people retained. It has to be within like the first few minutes as to what the reward, what's the thing that they're gonna get out of it. Thumbnail is super important. Every single person commented on the same thing.
What are some thumbnail trends they share? Did they share like?
No, basically they just it just has to be something that's catchy. Like you have to have a specific style. So maybe like some colors and just a catchy hook. So this is a catchy hook and catchy colors in terms of thumbnail design. So you really, really, really need to focus on thumbnail.
Need a good thumbnail. If anyone out there is an expert when it comes to thumbnails, will pay you good money for it. I'm not talking about kid using AI, new trick. No, I'm talking. You work for Ali Abdal.
Actual artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not just artist.
Creative.
No, just thumbnail expert. If you've worked for Dario, Ali Abdal, Mahmood, any of the big, I want you. I know there's a Muslim there. Don't worry. We love you.
And all the ones that work for PBD, give them an invite now. Sheikh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's Muslims that make thumbnails for PBD?
Not thumbnails, I don't know, but a lot of them work for him.
He's got a guy that on his he's in a production team.
Yeah.
We'll pay you more, inshallah. And it'll be safer for your akhirah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Come.
Yes.
It'll be safer for your akhirah and we'll pay you more, inshallah.
Inshallah.
And what else? I actually met Mohamed Mustafa. He's Ali Mustafa's brother. Ali Mustafa is one of the, let's say, prominent Emirati filmmakers. He made a film called a very famous film back in the day. It was really popular. It's called City of Life. It's about Dubai. And it's called City of Life. And now they're coming up with part 2. But he was telling me something that really, like, I was very eye-opening. He's like, Mohammed, now I'm in filmmaking. And, but I'm based in Dubai, but my work is in Abu Dhabi. I was like, why Abu Dhabi? He's like, because the government is offering 50% rebate on all filmmaking budgets. So now, filmmaking is going to become a business even for private offices and family offices, because what's happening is that the movie itself now is becoming 50% subsidized by the government.
Wow. That's huge, man.
Interesting, because we at the event that we had Brother Fadi, who was the guy who done the production for the Ummah series, right? So of course I have my reservations, can't have women, can't have music and so on and so forth. But he was a producer, he was the main producer for the project, and he was actually saying that he's struggling with funding for the new thing. And they were saying that there's a lot of commercial pros and pluses, like from an investment perspective, in production. So you can make a movie, you can make a short film, you can make a series, you can make like a mini series as well, like 5-minute clips or whatever have you. He's got the skills, got the talent. But this could be interesting information for him.
It is.
So you're saying the government will give you back 50% of the budget you spent?
Exactly.
So and what's that? That's just like money, profit? Money
I
for
don't
kicks?
understand the mechanism and how they do it, but he said it's a rebate.
And are there any mandates, brother, like these type of films?
That's I wouldn't know, but
There's gonna be,
I will get
Yeah.
information and I will give it to you so that you can.
There's got to be that element,
Of
right?
course, the
Yeah,
mandate
yeah,
from
of course. But basically, I told him, why are they doing it? He's like, because they just want to make this place as the new Hollywood. So,
media
yeah.
media is a great way to obviously,
because
like,
he's I mean his brother was quite famous back in the day, and he still is. And he's actually good. He was on Dune, and he was shooting with some like top Hollywood actors. But the point is that even the movie scene is coming here. So for example, the other thing that I was surprised and I was happy to see, the first AI movie award, the biggest, and the $1 million prize. So now it's also taking a different shift. So now
incentive.
yeah, exactly. So now you can only imagine the creative power that can come and the storytelling that you can really generate now by taking ownership of everything that you thought was out of hand back in the day. Because, before you thought you needed a budget, you needed a setup.
AI.
Huh?
Now you can do it with AI.
Now you could, and not only that, but now they're promoting it. So now they want people to do it. Yeah.
And the great thing here is that now we always talk about halal movies, halal things for kids,
Exactly.
kids cartoons, so on and so. Now you have the opportunity to do it. So who's going to do it now?
Yeah.
We complain. Now the solutions are here. We come with it. So what you're saying is interesting, but most of our audience, I don't think, is actually exposed to social media, right? So like,
Which is wrong.
guys inside the network,
Yeah.
most of them don't really have social media presence. They, like usually older guys and whatnot and so on and so forth. What's your message to them based on what you've learned? Like, I know that the younger guys, Abu Lahya, Ammar, they're killing it, right? Allah barik. But look, you are a person who has a very senior position in Damak construction, Allah barik. You've had an exit, your company IPO'd for just under $1 billion riyal, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, it was 942 as a group. Yeah.
As a group. Allah barik, you don't really seem like the avatar that's going to be like, I'm going to build a social media brand up, but you are. So what's your message to these guys? In fact, you're all doing it. You're not the typical ICP, but but you're doing it.
It's if you do not have your personal brand or your presence online as a person or as a company, within a few years, you're going to be obsolete.
Okay.
Whether you like it or not. Because it's always right now the war and your market, your let's say your market segment is all about catching attention and as much attention as you can. And the best way to do it is through social media. So if you're selling something, if you're promoting something, if even for yourself, if you want to develop whatever it is that you have, you need to be online. And you also, right now, because there's so much content online, so now a lot of the focus, if you see the agenda in 1 Billion Followers Summit, you also need to be a bit strategic. So now it was very easy to grow back in the day on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, because it was up and coming. So, like people were just going with the wave, so they grew fast. No, now there's 1 billion pieces of content coming online every single day.
That's mad.
So
There has to be method to the madness.
Exactly. Very well said, brother. So I went to workshops from TikTok and YouTube and LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the most underrated. Bro, it's the most underrated. It's the underdog of all platforms. That's
what all the cave guys are. That's what all your investors are.
Yep.
I'm telling you. So that's so my message to them is at least start with LinkedIn. At least start with LinkedIn and then build yourself.
Can I ask Mohamed a question?
Yeah, please.
Because mashallah, he's doing, I don't know about Brother Ebrahim. Do you have a LinkedIn presence?
Yes.
How big is it? You don't mind me asking because I don't know.
Often, I can tell you now, but I know my LinkedIn is better, is the best of all my platforms.
Really? Because I was looking for it last night.
So...
Oh, you actually do have a LinkedIn. What?
So yeah, man, you should, especially you, because you would have.
How do I even find that?
The followers?
Yeah.
Thing is, I'll tell you what makes me nervous about LinkedIn. Yeah.
What?
Again, if there's any like real LinkedIn expert, I'm not talking about like a newbie. I'm talking about like a killer, like guy who understands LinkedIn. Please pay you. Like, the coach me and help me build
I don't know,
strategy.
Sheikh.
I don't understand.
Because I also don't know. I'm now on LinkedIn.
I don't know how to post on X. I don't know how to use X. I know Instagram.
4,300
I know YouTube.
followers.
Allahumma barik, mashallah. So 4,300 followers, and I think Mohamed has close to 8,000 followers.
Yeah, almost 8,000.
So they know more than us
100%.
what to do on LinkedIn.
100%.
So my
I know.
question to you is, bro.
Yeah, tell me.
This is a selfish question.
No, of course.
If you give me the permission, Sheikh. So what should I do with LinkedIn? Because I just hired a guy, by the way. I'll see how he does, and then I can recommend him to you. He just started for me yesterday because I really need to be on LinkedIn. I understand that. But my friction
Is that guy from here?
Yeah, from Dubai. It's not.
Okay.
But
I'm thinking.
my friction
Okay.
always with any social media is like I cannot have the apps on my phone. This is just my rule. Now it has to run without me having the app on the phone because it just distracts me too much, right? But I can give the content. Like for the YouTube, of course, I shoot. It's not AI, but everything else, the distribution, editing, recording has to be taken care of completely.
Right.
So for LinkedIn, how do I do it? Like
I'll tell you. How do you do it in terms of posting or
Yes.
the whole strategy?
give you a little bit about whole strategy
Okay.
and then posting.
So basically, I will tell you a little bit about the strategy, at least that I follow, and that's been working for me. And this is a great. LinkedIn has an internal built-in tool which allows you to schedule your posts.
Okay.
So you could sit one day on your laptop, schedule the post for the entire week,
Yeah.
and then on specific days and specific
And
times.
those posts, how should you sound like?
Okay, so the
What's the
post
tone?
should always place you, and you should always be very authoritative in the sense that
Thought leader.
Thought leadership.
not just thought, because there's a lot of, like right now, anybody that has ChatGPT calls himself a thought leader. It's becoming really annoying. No, people really want to see your scars. They want to see your battle scars. They want to know that you've actually been in the trenches, because once they see and they feel that you've been in the trenches, you've got them. They're hooked. Why? Because there's so much, even now, like there's also fluff on LinkedIn. And
It just seems like everyone on LinkedIn is just posting AI. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Stuff.
So you have to have on-ground reality.
Yes,
share the stories, yeah.
because I'll tell you what it is. The followers there are very high-profile followers, right? Connections. They can smell it a mile away if you know what you're talking about or not. They can smell it a mile away. You know, like sometimes some of my posts go so viral that, I get really high profile connections, but I realize because it's that one thing, that one very unique experience that very few people have had, and I was blessed to be in that, to be in that experience that resonated with, someone that has seen
What's the
it on
measure
his
of
feed.
viral? Like engagement, likes, shares?
It's all of it. It's likes, engagement, views, impressions. LinkedIn works a lot on impressions because it's this is a metric that is usually
So
very
it
related
pushes
to.
the post outside of your followers.
Yeah. Of course,
same like
of course,
Instagram.
and it's very much LinkedIn as opposed to, I don't know how the other platform is. It's very much based on interaction. So if any of your followers or any of your friends comment on something, you'll see whatever they're commenting on your feed. So it works
It's
different.
like old Facebook.
Sorry?
It's like how Facebook
there
used to
you
be
go.
back
Very
in the
well
days.
said. Exactly.
So can I ask a question? Should I be selective about who I accept a connection with? Because I get all these connection requests, right?
What is a connection and follower, bro?
Connection, it's because connection, you have to basically you can only directly send a message to a person that you're connected to. So it's kind of like I'm trying to compare
Facebook
it to
friends.
something. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like Facebook friends. A follower is someone that follows you, but he cannot directly engage with
So
you.
let me tell you back my question. So if I search certain things on my Instagram, the algorithm gives me more of what I search, right? And it also gives me things, I think, based on the type of people that I follow, right? Likewise on YouTube. So my question here is that if I'm connecting with people that, I don't mean to rude way, like lower quality connections, does that then look bad on me? Will it
Yes.
now mean that my content will show up on lower quality?
Yes.
people. But if I now withhold and only accept connections with people that are maybe of a higher caliber, will that then improve the reach of my content?
Yeah, of course. 1,000%.
So I should be very careful about who I...
Strategic about whose connection you
1,000%.
accept.
Listen, LinkedIn is the perfect embodiment of the 80-20 rule. You only need good quality 20% that can bring 80% of the value.
So I want to get, for example, access to people that could be qualified for the cave. He wants to get access to potential investors.
I'll tell you what you
What's
could
the
do.
hack?
Hacks that very few people know. You go on the search bar. You search, for example, investors and another word. For example, real estate. Between parentheses, it's this search. It's a methodology. It has a technical name. I'll send it to you. So, for example, if you're searching for people in real estate, investor and between parentheses, real estate, so that the search recognizes it as one word. Then it's going to give you every single person that's an investor in real estate. So, for example, what I would do is filter people, and then you filter locations, UAE, and then you get every single investor in real estate in Dubai that's literally there. And I promise you, very high chance that if you add him and he sees your profile and it's a good profile, he'll accept.
So what makes a good profile?
What makes a good profile, as I told you, they need to see that you have battle scars, like you have good experience.
So on your about me, because the guy is currently fixing my about me and the headline. Should you mention your stories or just achievements?
Just mention your major achievements, like 2 or 3 major achievements. I have like a really, really, really good what to do kind of like a checklist for LinkedIn. It's a full course. Yeah, I will.
Yeah. You said that I would have value share. I wouldn't know what to post. What do you see? What do you think? What kind of content?
You have so much to post because you are literally probably leading one of or probably the best ecosystem for high net worth individuals in Dubai.
Mm-hmm.
Most 99% of people in Dubai probably don't know it yet.
So what do I share on there?
So you share exactly that. You share that this is what we're doing. This is, for example, the deals that we striked. Don't really need to disclose the names. You could use, pseudos, A and B. You could talk about the events that we do. Share the podcast itself, the clips, the snippets. Now, LinkedIn is moving a lot to video content.
Yeah.
So now you notice a lot of video content. And I promise you, the level and the quality of the business discussions that we're having resonates very well on LinkedIn. Because then people are going to be like, oh, you know what they're talking about. Sorry?
The Islamic element. So business in an Islamic paradigm.
Well, then you're just going to attract like-minded individuals. Mm-hmm. Just the Islamic...
I need to just do it, man. I feel like I need to just do it. It's just...
I mean, there's nothing wrong. I mean, the Islam, because we're talking about Islam from a business... It's a business more
Islamic ethics, morals.
Exactly. So that goes hand in hand with we're not talking about Islamic politics. We're talking about Islamic business and the halal way of doing things and Sharia compliant and staying away from riba. Bro, that's exactly what LinkedIn is for. In the West they call it, what do they call it? Like the environment and the No, like basically when you have to comply with all of the inclusion sort of regulations for
ESG.
like...
On LinkedIn?
ESG, there you go.
Yeah.
No, like in the West, it's... On LinkedIn, you'll find a lot of that. ESG, a lot of it. Well, it's the same exact thing here. You're just, for you don't call it ESG.
The thing is, I made an account and I started posting, then it got removed.
Why?
I think one of my copywriters put up a post and he wrote it like how I would send out an email, and it wasn't really politically correct. I think it was some women took offense to it. I think you have to be very proper.
No, yeah, I mean, and with LinkedIn you have to be proper, to be honest. And I would say like you have to be very professional, and you really need to offer value. Like these and people on
So
LinkedIn.
what's the is it written? Is that the main thing?
Written is main
Written
thing,
is-
and now it's moving to video.
But do people read the written?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah,
And I will tell you,
busy,
you know, one thing,
Yeah.
one thing
No,
they
short
love,
memos, newsletters,
infographics.
things like that.
Infographics goes a
What do you
very
post?
I post like basically anything that has to do with construction, my experiences, my thoughts. So sometimes I haven't posted in a while. Now I'm getting back to it again, especially with the plans that now we're having.
Let's do it this week, inshallah. I'm gonna
Yeah,
jump back on it as
it's
well.
basically I just use it as my memoir.
Okay.
Like I come up, I think of something and I just write it down, and it always resonates because people can relate because it's a real experience.
That's my 2026 social media plan.
yeah.
Take LinkedIn by storm, inshallah.
And you think if I just connect immediately with the guys that are inside the cave on LinkedIn, that's gonna like set me up for
Of course.
better success? I'm just
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
look for a hack. Like I don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you'll instantly get access to their connect, or you'll get recommended to their connections.
Exactly.
So you have to accept me today.
But what I would say is,
Done.
I would say just start posting it regardless. Just start posting, just like anything, man. The amount of
The one
the
hack
amount of
for Sheikh is, if you look at your content pillar, sorry to cut you, off, but you mentioned, the advices that you begin these episodes.
You
with.
just read my mind, Sheikh. So I say, just write it up, the advice. And that's content.
Just for example, a couple of weeks back, you gave us the dua for all bottlenecks.
Yes.
Allahumma
The
inni
8
a'udhu
du'as.
bika min al-hammi wal-huzn wa a'udhu bika min al-'ajzi wal-kasal wa a'udhu bika min al-jubni wal-bukhl. The brilliant
Beautiful
stuff like that, I think,
Yeah.
will resonate to
Exactly.
Muslim entrepreneurs
Yep.
who,
even non-Muslims.
even non-Muslims, faith
And
or
Sheikh,
faith
I
aligned.
think you should address it to everyone in a way where it's easy for non-Muslims to read.
it's
a great da'wah too.
Yeah.
Correct.
okay, LinkedIn.
Man, I met some, like, I became really good friends with some of my connections from LinkedIn, and like they're like, they are like top guys, like top guys. Like one of them is one of the biggest real estate developers in one of the European countries, an Egyptian man.
You know what motivated me for LinkedIn this year, Sheikh? There was a comment on one of my YouTube videos. Brother mentioned, and I apologize to him. He mentioned, Brother Sam, I keep messaging on your LinkedIn, you never respond. This is not a good look. Literally. And this is a LinkedIn from like 2017 where my team created
gosh.
back then. Like it's not my account.
Yeah,
I
people
don't
are
have
fans
access
of you
to
on
it.
LinkedIn, man.
Yeah, Sheikh. Like it's not even my account. Like I don't even have access to it. But it's there. Like when you search it, Sam Amin on LinkedIn, there'll be a profile coming up like from like 7 years ago.
Oof.
Yeah.
He took personal offense to it. I was like, man, this is not. He actually mentioned this is not good looks.
I love that you considered it though. Like,
No,
you
right
took it
to us,
seriously.
like, man, because this is my fiduciary duty now at this point.
Inshallah.
Yeah, exactly.
Abubakar, make sure you timestamp this as LinkedIn Mastermind. Separate to the $1
Chef,
billion
for our
sum.
cave members, these are all gems, cave members. We need, where's the directory of all cave members? Because there's now too many, man. I didn't want to reach out. I was like, man,
That's what
It's-
I was looking for. His LinkedIn
it's
last night.
like, hey, man.
No.
Who is he?
Version 1 of the directory is going to be rolled out. That's why I found your LinkedIn last night. Don't
Oh,
worry.
you did?
found
Okay,
everyone's
that's good.
LinkedIn,
Yeah, so if
I
everyone's
found him
LinkedIn
too.
is there, mashallah, that'll be great
Okay,
for us to
Jameel.
connect.
No,
Babe,
LinkedIn is, yeah.
Let's move on to the next discussion, inshallah. So, this very interesting video that a brother from IFG put out. And he was talking about what he believes. Maybe we'll play some clips.
Owned by companies like Stripe, PayPal, and Visa. And that works until it doesn't. We've seen donation links frozen, business accounts suddenly shut down, and transfers delayed for extra verification. The reason? Usually, vague phrases are given like violating acceptable use policy or risk-related activity. Every online payment, international transfer, or bank deposit ultimately flows through a small number of systems built, owned, and governed by Western institutions. So if we think about it from a food perspective, it's not just the corner shop, but it's the wholesaler they buy from. This is the banks of the world.
So, he's talking about 5 businesses that Muslims should look to set up in 2026, right? And I love that thinking, because there's things that we as a people, we need, right? Muslims, we transact in a certain way, for example, halal, haram, right? There's things that we don't do, that other people do. There's certain places that we transact from. And we need systems and infrastructure to look out for us from a religious perspective, a geographical perspective, and a bunch of other things. So his take was interesting, right? He mentioned 5 businesses. Number 1, we need our own payment processor. So, it's interesting, subhanAllah. But Launch Good, which is, I think it's like a crowdfunding startup, Muslim owned, they have been striped. They've been cut off from the payment process, I think, like 5 times in the last 2 years. Can you imagine how stressful that is when you can't accept payments? And you're a big, massive company.
What's the excuse, though?
I don't know what it is, but it's like
they tag you for these, like sending money to Syria. This is too risky.
So there was a particular. So remember,
risky corridors.
Basically, Launch Good is a platform. Many people can do crowdfunding for many things. So there was a particular donation for a Syrian refugee medical fund, and the payment processor flagged it to the high-risk destination country. Right. So okay, sure, decline it, but you cut them off. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is a huge problem for a lot of people. Their fees are also high. Then the second thing was we need our own banking rails, because these payment processors are going to use certain.
Who owns Stripe?
I'm not sure, but
I'll look it up.
Point being is, and then you mentioned a few different business ideas like that. We need our own AI thing and so on and so forth. So, I want us to talk about what we think are critical Muslim businesses that should be started in 2026. He's got a finance background, which is why he's bringing up payment processor, this, that, so on and so forth. It's a huge issue, to be honest. So I want to know what you guys think. What are the 3 things that you think, from your perspective, your paradigm, that are critical businesses that should be started, 3 to 5 businesses should be started in 2026? But first, let's talk about the payment processor thing. How important is it that we have our own Muslim-friendly payment processing companies?
I think, Sheikh, it's exceptionally important. And you see, for whatever reason, you could just be flagged as a risk. And if you're unable to receive payment
Freeze your funds
for your services, or if your funds get frozen, you're dead in the water, right? You're not able to be in business.
Yeah. Have you had that situation before? Or like maybe not payment process, but like with the bank, for example?
No, alhamdulillah. Fortunately, look, I've signed some very scary documents at some point in my life after 9/11. But
what are these documents? What does it have to do with 9/11?
Yeah.
You're stressing me.
No, are you stressing me? I was
No. I mean, all banks changed the documents post 9/11.
Patriot Act and everything.
If you ever found, basically your funds could be frozen if you found facilitating or funding the wrong things and terrorism, things like that.
Yeah.
Basically, you'd lose an account. You don't.
And they define what is that, right?
And they define what that's in some petty act. So, but you don't read the act.
Yep.
So everyone's at risk to it. You just don't know it.
So we've had this issue, man. They shut down we've had our Stripe shut down before. We've had a bank account shut down before. It is a huge pain. But it doesn't solve the problem, right? Because then the way these payment processes work is that they have their banking rails, right?
Yeah, they go through the traditional banking system.
So we need.
They have to be authorized by the central bank, right?
Yes.
To receive payment.
They have to go through what? Sorry,
Central bank.
they have to.
Yeah.
We can't build an alternative.
I think you could start. It would take a long time. Regulation would kill you. And even if you get it right, you'll probably be picked up in bed.
Yeah.
So look,
it's I don't think it's a battle you'd want to take.
So look, on the payment processing thing, alhamdulillah, I actually spoke with some entrepreneurs yesterday, some founders. There's these 3 guys, they're in Minnesota, Somali brothers, mashallah, doing some good productive work, Allah Barik. So they basically built this payment processor. I won't mention the name. But Allah Barik, man, in 90 days is picked up. They've got high volume. They actually have a good problem right now. They had to scale back onboarding scaled down onboarding, just to basically work on the tech side to make sure that they can handle the infrastructure of how many clients and customers they're getting. So all the best to them. But it was just lovely to see that these type of things are happening. And I think with our theme of keep the dollar moving inside of our community, right? Is I think I would love to see Muslims, if they're going to use a payment processor, use one run by one of your own. And the amazing thing is that they've got low fees. They're lower than Stripe, lower than all the other guys. And when you're new like that, you can probably negotiate and get it even cheaper. And these things, 0.2%, 0.5% makes a massive difference. They also are a lot more smooth and easy when it comes to the regulatory stuff. Like things getting flagged, funds getting flagged, and so on and so forth. And what's really interesting about the way they do it, it'll be interesting to see how they scale this, but they have a lot of hands-on support. So if an issue happens with a transaction, you have to speak to a robot. These guys are trying to create a system where it's more
human.
More human. Don't worry, I'll get on the phone. I'll fix it for you, inshallah, so on and so forth. So actually looking for funding to grow their legal team and their tech team. That's their biggest bottleneck. So gonna go through their pitch deck and present some of the guys inside the network and get everyone's feedback if they think it's something that's suitable. We'll present it to the cave, inshallah, as part of our thing that we're looking to do, which is every month present a new opportunity like this. A new opportunity
Inshallah.
That's, looking safe, looking healthy.
That's good.
Yeah. So we have access to these type of projects that will do good. But I'm interested, what are your 3 critical Muslim businesses that should begin in 2026 that, we kind of need?
I think number 1 is the cave.
Okay.
And I'm not even kidding. We need, inshallah, the cave has to be at a position where you need capital, it's there. You need deals to invest in, it's there. You need projects that you can back with your family endowments, it's there. You need the best lawyers, it's there. You need the best physicians in the world, it's
shop.
there. One-stop shop. So the cave, inshallah, I see cave reaching that, but it has to reach that, inshallah. And
Inshallah.
I think everybody needs to be united on that cause in reaching that. Because, and without stereotyping, in America, if you need the best lawyers, you get a Jewish lawyer. It's just a fact, and they're actually very good. They're very smart. I always had great experience with Jewish lawyers versus other lawyers. I would sometimes have to teach them what to do when you go to the court. Say this, say that. This is how you present it. But Jewish lawyers, they would bring things. They're like, oh wow, fascinated, right? And not necessarily Zionists, but just happens to be Jewish lawyers, right? Also, another you need good financiers that can give you a lot of money, and also open to doing it in a Sharia way. Also happens to be the Jews in America. So there's a lot of things I feel like when it comes to actual, instead of us getting degrees in human arts or whatever, I don't know what us Muslims get degrees in, we should more focus on, not that we're not, but I think the increased concentrated focus has to be on these tangible skills. That it has become a stereotype, you go to these race if you want to be represented well. Why not us? So, and imagine now all these are put together in an actual network where you can just tap into the network, and it's like a yellow book. It's like the directory of the best in the world.
So it's interesting, right? Because amongst the Muslims, one of the things I'm seeing through the cave and the people that join, we actually have great talent, but it's just not united. That's the issue.
Yeah.
Those guys and others are just together. We're not, but I think this is just going to be we actually, like I said, when we started making the directory yesterday, and I was like, wow. Do you guys know we have a FIFA licensed football agent?
Wow.
I know of him, but yes.
In the network?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Bro,
It's crazy that
I was like, what?
Yeah.
Works across Sweden, Germany,
There's
Switzerland.
another one in the process of joining.
Another football agent.
Yes.
So I'm saying there's that.
He represents Dembele.
So I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I'll introduce
Okay,
I'm
I'm not a football guy, but I know FIFA.
Yeah.
My point is that it's like, bro, it's just there's so many different verticals. But yeah, okay, Allah barik. So that's one. What about you, Sheikh? What are the 3 critical businesses?
I think Coming back to Sheikh Mohammed's point earlier, social media and personal branding and what we're all doing. Media, a lot of our conversations of recent time is that media is becoming critical in our lives. And I think our own media platform, because today if you say something that someone doesn't like, you can get deplatformed for even the wrong reasons. I mean, we're not saying go out there and start causing chaos. But I mean, if they just feel that they don't like you, you can get deplatformed.
Yeah.
It's very risky. So I think very high up there would be a Muslim media platform. Another one, what Sam was saying, where he envisages a cave, but just to break it down further, doesn't necessarily have to be in a network form. But we had the discussion of the Sharia-compliant funds.
Yep.
You're taking Muslim money, but ultimately you're putting it in non-Muslim assets.
Infrastructure, yes.
And you're just growing them.
Yes.
But a proper Islamic fund that funds Muslim, so that would fund the guys that you are talking about.
Yep.
You know, the Somalian
payment processors.
So be it tech, be it real estate, be it, but a proper
infrastructure,
Muslim fund that mandate is to support Muslim-owned startups and things
Bro,
like that.
it's like you're in my head, bro. Those are my first one.
And basically, Brother Ebrahim said my second and third.
Yeah.
Those are I was going to mention. Second and third is media and this.
Yeah, so my one's media. It requires a committee of scholars, though, because there's, to make sure it's maintained properly. I would just add to the fund and just say one extra thing. I actually think it should be a waqf. I think it should be a waqf where and a waqf is an endowment, right? It's like a self-producing asset.
Yeah.
So basically the fund is a waqf. It should not profit. People shouldn't be taking profit from it. You can take wages, no problem, take good wages. But the idea is that you seed it with money and then it makes money when these businesses make money, but that money goes back into the fund to go and get more businesses. And then the focus here is on critical Muslim businesses that are going to, infrastructure or things that's going to benefit the Muslim communities, people, country at large. So it's not going to fund like charity projects. It is like a charity, it is a charitable thing because it's a waqf, but it's there
to fund critical masses.
Yeah, exactly. To provide investment opportunity and to provide funding for businesses like cybersecurity businesses, social media, this stuff that's going to really help the Muslims. So that's the only thing I would change.
So Sheikh, my take on that is very noble in thought. It would be very difficult to get adoption because the pool or the offtake on that would be very difficult to get someone to. Generally, people would donate in charity. They would build a waqf. They don't mind donating a portion of their funds to a waqf, etc. But they're generally in business to enrich themselves and their families.
That's true, but also people give a lot of money, and you say, look, instead of
doing that, do this.
Yeah, instead of doing that, this is and
no. So you could certainly have a waqf element, but as you see the wages, etc. But for example, the fund managers, etc., of this sort of thing, the incentive for them to move out of,
but that could be their payment, and they can be paid handsomely. They can be paid well.
Okay.
They can be paid very well. They can be paid very well, but it's just that the profits that come in, it could,
I think a mashup of the
potentially a hybrid, potentially
a hybrid.
Yeah,
Potentially. No, but whichever shape and form,
but
the
it's needed.
idea it's needed.
Yeah,
and I think it would do exceptionally well.
It would do great. Even
the
if
semantics we can now carry on arguing about, but the thing.
Mine? Yes.
Sorry, so there was two.
I'll wait for Sheikh Ebrahim to finish.
Sheikh, food.
Okay. What do you mean? Because I'm hungry as well.
I'm hungry too. Man.
So generally, if you look at all the brands today, a key risk out of the geopolitics or the way forward we highlighted is
Food security.
supply chain, and but particularly food resource. How many Muslim-owned agricultural farms are there? Forget semantics. Whether it's poultry, whether it's beef, whether it's whatever. I mean, forget all of that. But just food manufacture and food producers and manufacturers. So be it in farming or biscuits or coffee. You spoke of coffee earlier. You spoke of bread manufacturers.
Control the supply chain, basically.
Control the supply chain of food production. No, not necessarily control it, but I mean, become a player.
Yep.
Or become players within the production of basic necessity, basic human necessity, right? Food.
Yep. Essentials.
And there are a lot of Muslims playing in that game, but I think the level has to they have to level up.
I was speaking with Brother Asad from Wahid. He was mentioning that in Africa, I can't remember which country. There's a brother who has like a meat. I don't know. Is it a slaughterhouse? Is it a factory? Is it a farm? I don't know what it is, but I think if I'm not mistaken, there's $1 million a day, and it's going to IPO soon, so that it can be a Muslim company that people can invest in. But the point is, we have nowhere near enough.
No, it's
that's like one.
It should be $1 billion a day.
Yeah, $1 billion a day. Yeah.
A good pointer on this one would be, Sheikh, like even for the halal meat, especially in Western countries, if we have a blockchain for halal meat. Meaning,
Blockchain, like crypto?
Yeah, like a blockchain where it gets stored.
Verification.
So, because the halal meat, like the Zabiha ones I'm talking about, like there's no real verification unless a committee of scholars actually say it, right? So
What's blockchain have to do with it?
So in the blockchain, like from the coming from it being slaughtered, smart contract, like it gets tabbed.
But what does that have to do with halal meat?
No. So the way when it comes to,
I'm not part of this conversation.
This is what I love, Sam, because he's always thinking like,
no.
of course.
What I love is how all three of you understood it. But I'm like,
No,
you're like, of course.
To break
I just wanted a halal burger, man. Instead of I gotta go get a smart contract.
I mean,
you're able to verify the source.
Sam knows how to break it down, so I'll let him do it.
That are verifiable.
Yes.
From production from source to
from the source to it coming to you. What is a blockchain, Sheikh? Blockchain is basically it's a footprint. Once you leave it, a smart contract on the blockchain, you can never remove it, erase it. It's there. It's forever
on the internet, basically.
But why do I have to verify it through blockchain? I can't just.
That's the smart way of doing it.
It's a faster way.
It's
a
more
faster
efficient
way, and it's cross-border.
Yes.
Okay.
And so it could be slaughtered in New Zealand, and you have the blockchain here. So there is no need of these extra certifications and of like extra cost of actually making sure it's halal. Like it's just verified once there, and it comes through the blockchain, and
So it's an electronic, immediate form of authentication that can go from one country to another with a flick of a button.
So you're saying each chicken would have
whatever it is.
Its own unique identifier, let's say. So it's like electronic chain of narration, Sheikh. You know how we have chain of narration? Now this
chain I can go to, for example, this Lulu hypermarket.
Yes.
Scan a QR code.
Yeah.
And it will tell me this
exactly.
Came.
Yes.
Yep.
Originated in New Zealand.
Otherwise, what you have to do,
signed off by this body.
Yes,
and
exactly. Done.
And it cannot be
altered,
faked
because it's blockchain.
Because that's it's blockchain. So the blockchain works on nodes. So the node before and the node after, is fixed.
Yes.
So you cannot change it. If you try to hack it, the whole blockchain.
And that's for I'm talking
lost me there.
Sheikh, for the
okay, never mind.
for the UAE
basically
market,
it's unhackable.
Yeah, for the UAE market, like whatever halal, but our audience is West, and it's a huge issue, right, Sheikh? I'm sure you remember. It's not been too long. You're out of the UK. Like it's a huge issue. Is it really halal? The halal meat they're bringing, like who did Zabi? Like what's happening? Nobody knows, Sheikh. It's like you go to your local Pakistani or Bangladeshi grocery store, and you're assuming it's halal.
Yeah.
Like, who knows who he sent to the farm to what's happening? It's just based on trust, right, Shahba? If it's on blockchain, so this would be. I'm talking about food. Just came to my mind.
Barakallah fi.
No, brilliant take on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last one.
I've got a little more.
Sheikh has many.
Let's stop.
Okay, we'll pass it to Mohamed. Go on.
I mean, I have two actually. And mine, I'll leave the second one, the best to last. But I would say the first one is actually very related to what we're talking about. Is you need to convert or try to find a way to convert any traditional business right now into some sort of token or some sort of online asset that can be put on the blockchain, whatever it is. Why? Because now we're moving into the age of digital currency, and it's coming, and it's going to become it will be a mandate in the next few years. I don't know, maybe even earlier. We're not going to see paper currency anymore, and that's not me saying. Read the news, and even here,
It's coming.
It's coming.
Agreed.
Khalas. What does that mean?
But I need some gold.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So. And actually, that's probably what's driving the gold and silver prices up. But what that means is also that if that's going to become the currency of the world, then the entire infrastructure has to grow with it, right? So when you're talking and when you're going to be doing business, now it's not really so much the traditional way that was done before. So now it's a lot more blockchain, smart contracts, cross-border, so you have to find a way. And I will speak for myself, for example, and the stuff that like me and Sam working on is tokenization, because that's we talked about it a lot, right? So that's in the pipeline, because eventually this is where the world is going, so we need to go there. And I would definitely, for example, if I see that I have a business that I can convert into a blockchain, whatever it is, and it's something that I'm specialized in, then I need to find a way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Car rentals, for example. Car rentals. Convert your car rental business into a tokenized blockchain.
You'd have to excuse me. I don't get the utility. Like I'm missing a gap. I want to understand this. So.
All right. So let's say, let's take the car rental example. A car rental, right? You have a fleet of cars.
Okay.
These cars, let's say their capital is $1 million. So what you say and what you do is you take this $1 million and you divide it into tokens, whatever. We're not going to get into the technicalities of it, but let's say each token represents a specific percentage of that car.
Okay. Not the
ownership
whole car?
in the car.
Not the whole car?
Not the whole car. Ownership in the car. So if you have a fraction.
Okay, so this is for investors.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I get it. It's like the real estate play.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like the real estate.
Crowdfunding.
But that's the
Yeah.
thing. Like,
So instead of someone buying a Ferrari and then getting returns on it, each contributes towards a part of a Ferrari, and then when the car rental company rents it out, you make like 5%.
But it's backed by that Ferrari.
But it's back.
But it's
Which
by
is
the Ferrari. And for example, people do not underestimate how much of a gold mine that is. Underestimate how much of a gold mine that is, especially in a country like Dubai. Fun fact, by the most specialized data geek guy you can ever find in Dubai that's giving me this information because he's specialized in real estate. But he gave me this side piece of information for me to know. Out of 5 cars in Dubai, how many do you think are for residents?
4 residents.
Out of 5 cars, how many do you think are for residents? 1.
What?
1.
That
So
was
for every
tourists?
5
For
cars
tourists?
on the street, it's tourists and commercial and
Oh,
imagine.
wow. And commercial. Wow.
So only 1 from every 5 cars in Dubai is for residents.
And there's a lot of cars here.
There's a lot of cars.
Because there are a lot of tourists.
Yeah.
No, but the commercial one's massive.
No,
There's a
no,
lot
so
there's a lot of
indirectly
commercial
there are
vehicles.
opportunity.
That's unbelievable. Like, for example, if you have a fleet of cars here,
Then you
can you
could
imagine?
raise
The
like-
issue, because Abu Bakr obviously has a partnership in a car rental company here, right?
Yeah.
Premier Supercars. The issue they mention is that there's a lot of people that drop their prices, right? And some people without making any accusations have brought money here, and for whatever reason they want to clean the money. And one of the best ways to do it is to buy cars, and they don't really care about the car rental business. So what apparently some people say is that they just put it on rent at a super cheap price, so they undercut everyone else. So it's very hard to actually make profit.
That's with
So-
any business, Sheikh. I think
But that's the
just-
thing, yeah. I was
They're
just going to
washing,
say
but no,
that.
that's-
I
that's
was
just
going to
excuse.
say, Sheikh,
due
there's always
respect.
these
But no,
outliers. There are
truth-
always these outliers.
Because truth be
It's-
told, now Premier Supercars are actually doing well, and I think it's about building a brand, right? Building a brand, building trust.
The idea,
Yeah.
I think what I'm trying to get at is you need now to start thinking of how to create liquidity from a business and taking it from a traditional way
Yes.
to a very
Tokenization.
liquid way. You have a supermarket. Let's say, for example, us like Middle Easterns and Muslims, we love gas stations in the US. We love it. We always own gas stations. Tokenize this gas station. Can you imagine how much more liquid and how much more leverage and the financing that you'll be able to
but
have
a
if
big
you
part you're
tokenize
missing
that
out
gas
here-
station?
I think a big thing that's being missed here is that what's your method of crowdfunding, right? So, okay, tokenization is the mechanism,
Yeah.
but how do I actually get people to buy my tokens?
But that comes with the process.
Right.
First is you have to take the initiative,
Yeah.
and then there are
That's a
million
marketing
service
distribution,
providers.
That's a marketing play.
Yeah,
branding
exactly.
play.
That's
Okay.
a million service provider for that sort of thing. But what I'm
The technology exists, Sheikh, to make it
Exactly.
a reality.
To make it reality.
He's saying start thinking in that
exactly.
direction.
So now you need to
And,
change. You really need to shift. I honestly, we are. And mark my words, and may Allah give me life to really see if my words are true, that we are now in the biggest wealth shift in the last, I would say, century. This year, in the next few years, with the biggest wealth shift.
I can see that. I can see that.
Because the market, the economies are changing drastically. We're going through a very big shift, and especially post-COVID, like a lot of things are not the same as before. So everything is changing. So you really need to reinvent yourself. Basically, this is if I had to put like a keyword: reinvent yourself in the way that you do business. And if honestly, and I'm still very bullish about real estate. If you really have the cash and if you have the money, real estate is the number one place where you should put it, especially now that it can be tokenized, because it's such a good, safe money making business. So find any good, safe, reliable, honest real estate development firm and just stick to them. Just stay with them. Just be with them. Exactly.
Exactly. Inshallah.
But we don't want to promote ourselves. But the
No, I'll
idea
promote
is,
for you. I'll do it.
but the idea is that we just want like our brothers, our Muslim brothers and sisters, to start really thinking in different ways and just reinventing themselves and the way that they do business, and now think more of liquidity and segmentation rather than just having a lot of capital and doing this business. It's just not the same. The business is not the same anymore.
Barakallah feek. Let's move to the last point of discussion for today. So we're going to talk about ethics, right, in business, and at what point do you say no to scaling or, exploiting the customer because now you, by capitalizing and making more profit and scaling, is actually going to cause harm to your customer, right? Which is something capitalism doesn't have any issue with.
Right.
Capitalism,
True capitalism.
true capitalism, which, to be honest, exists. It's not capitalism doesn't exist anywhere. Truly,
It doesn't exist.
yeah. But
Everybody will kill themselves. That's what capitalism wants you to do.
but it does exist in a very potent
To a
form.
certain extent,
right?
yeah.
So basically, Harvard Business Review put out a very interesting article. So there's a company called MaxInc, right, which is a makeup brand, and they've introduced an AI feature or a technology feature called the MaxInc Mirror. And what this does is that girls can basically open up the camera and it applies filters on their face to show them what their makeup would look like. So, you have all these different makeups, this, that, maybe stuff that's not permissible, like eyelash extensions. I don't know the details. I've heard about it recently, the brand. But as a lead magnet, this is phenomenal, right? Because what it does is it shows you right there and then what makeup you wear and how it will make you look. So you can actually like just start doing, and it will start making, the way this technology can progress, start making suggestions based on your skin tone, based on your face, based on this, based on that, get this, get that. And it will show you, this is what you could look like, right? And what it also does is it stops the amount of returns that come in, because people, when you're buying things, you don't know what this is going to look like on your skin. You don't know if this is, so on and so forth. Now, the discussion has popped up around them wanting to roll out a feature where it identifies flaws in your face. And then based on the flaws, and probably they're going to word it differently, right? Touch-ups, concealer, concealments or whatever have you. They'll have a way to frame it, but the whole idea is that it's going to identify flaws in your face. It's going to recommend one of their products that can help fix it through makeup. And things are blowing up because it's like, look, already girls are going crazy over this. They're addicted to this tool. They spend hours on it, just testing different things and seeing what that makeup would look like. And this is going to open up the door of insecurity, and it's going to create a lot of fitna and fasad. Muslims are saying this because it's going to, like raise the beauty standards, and people are not going to be comfortable in their own skin and blah, blah, and so on and so forth. And I understand that concern. I have that concern too. But I'm talking, if I was to now talk purely from a capitalistic perspective, that is crazy beneficial. Like, as in that product right there, at the expense of all those girls, at the expense of their mental health, you can make a lot of money. That's literally the most perfect lead magnet. I can see right now what the product would look like on my face in its most perfect form. And you can, through AI, find what's wrong and tell me what I could add on to that. And but like people are eating out. But the reason I wanted to have this conversation is because, we have businesses, and there could be unethical situations which we're faced with. So Sam, someone could come to you and say, look, I've got like, this is 80% of my funds, and I want to give it to you in this project, right? That's beneficial for you. But is it beneficial for the guy? Because it puts him in a situation where the risk is high because he put all of his assets in one portfolio, right? Or in one asset class. Likewise for you, you had a drink, which I guess in very high quantities could become unhealthy, right? So, but what if you can create a marketing campaign or a strategy to get them to consume, like, for example, 10 bottles a day? Would you do that? If you had absolute data that this could harm you, but you could also make a lot of money. Point being is like, what are your thoughts on this?
So, Sheikh, if there's definite danger, where you're saying we had data that said 10 bottles a day, and, there's definite harm, then my take would be that it would be forbidden to actually generate a campaign to sell that amount.
Mm-hmm.
But, there's always the aspect of moderation. And, yes, in essence, the drinks is not the healthiest of things.
It's also not going to kill you.
But it's not going to kill you. It's sugar water at the end of the day, right? With a bit of gas. And people are consuming it anyway. And I'm taking my piece of the pie. I didn't see anything wrong in generating campaigns to increase my market share. But if I had, as you say, a certain number, then you would put a warning to say, do not consume in excess of this.
Yeah.
Or, consume less than this. When sugar tax came in, what we've all done is we started reducing the pack sizes.
Mm-hmm.
One was, some global supply chain logistics also came into play, and we all, if you recall, I'm not sure how the UK was, but I think the US as well. The cans, if you look at the can of cola, was a lot bigger than it is today, right? The can shrunk. I think it was I don't know whether you call ounces or mils, but in mils, I remember our cans was like 340, and globally it all of a sudden reduced to 330.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that shift about 5-6 years ago?
I didn't know there was a shift. I've always remembered it at 330. I don't drink.
You can.
I remember, Chef, not specifically like the reason.
The pack size
yes,
became
yeah.
So again,
what was the reason for it?
No, one is there was equipment
Okay.
became equipment changed. We had to adapt, but also to so to say encourage the consumer to
Drink less.
So we would, if there was a genuine, one is you would put a disclaimer, and then you would change your pack sizes so that they would consume less throughout the day.
But did you do that because of regulation, or did you do that because you wanted to help?
No, for us it was more the technology had changed, so we done that.
Okay. But I love that your reference point here is that if it was harmful, I wouldn't harm people.
No,
at the expense of making a profit.
I can recall a particular incident where I think it was a pineapple flavor. Somehow, so every batch we produced, every 10-20 minutes, we would take a sample off to the lab, and obviously, so QC was very high. And at some point, by error, someone had put something in I forget the piece of equipment today, but it basically accelerates the product. So a week in that would be like months in the real world. And we realized that at that point, the ethanol content was a bit higher than what was acceptable. Now, we can sit and debate about the permissibility, impermissibility, etc. We just took a decision that, hey, if that actually happens, and this is in an expired state, we don't want to be involved in that. We recall the product. So in that way, we've had solid ethics guiding us. But so I would say we'd lose money if we had to, but we wouldn't go on to the wrong side.
So my question, Sam, to you is then, so how do you compete with these capitalist giants that are like, bro, no prisoners, we're here to sweep you up?
So Allah, I think, Sheikh, before I make a comment specifically on my business, I want to just say, and it relates to our previous discussion, the media discussion. Remember, from a long time we're having discussion, Muslims should have their own social media. I could not ever comment on it. Because I actually take a contrarian view. I don't think we should have social media.
Interesting.
Okay? And I'll explain to you. Not that I have social media, but let me explain to you. Because this whole social media, Muslims owning the infrastructure, and if we get into the business of how can we just generate more dopamine for our users, what can we engineer so that they can stay longer and longer on the platform, so they can keep swiping? I don't think that's a healthy game we should get into. Not every game we have to get into and win. Sometimes we don't just get into the game. What I think we should do from a media perspective, and when Sheikh mentioned media, of course we didn't quite elaborate on what he meant by media, but for me, media, we should get into filmmaking, documentary making, and actually bringing actually bringing the message. The storytelling, it has to be produced in such high budget. That's where we need producers. We need Muslim money coming in, the infrastructure coming in, the cinematic, everybody enjoys watching it. And the story should be moral.
Experience.
It's an experience. And at the end, you learn something. You're like, oh my God. And then you learn, oh wow, actually that was a real person, a real Muslim hero that I just watched a movie about. That should be a surprise at the end. That should be the marketing tools. At the end, you found out it was a real person, actually, a Muslim living it 700 years ago.
And the barriers to entry now is so low.
Yep.
It's so low. Man, can you imagine that I watched a whole 10-minute movie using AI?
Yeah.
A whole 10-minute movie. Everything, characters, sound, everything. So what he's saying is
now
imagine.
I believe you, but that solves one problem, which is entertainment. It doesn't solve the problem of social media, right? Which is different social medias have different things.
So I think, Sheikh, that's where my contrarian view is. If solving the problem means that we get into the game and we try to not compete with X and make it so addictive that you can do something more crazy and just get into fights.
But what if you can make it addictive and good?
Huh? How can addict? I don't know, Sheikh. This is where
you could even, for example, so the ethical thing to do would be, for example, a person has used it for more than 10 minutes. A pop up, hey, just so you know, you've used it for more than 10 minutes. Have you got enough of your daily dose? Or do you want to carry on? You know, like things like that.
You're talking regarding what now, Sheikh?
Social media, like as in,
okay.
Like if we had our own social media, not us being the like social media content creators, but having our like own Instagram, how would we like own as a Muslim Instagram? So that's what I think the question, and you might be right, Sheikh, but all I want people to ask themselves is that even a fight necessary to get into? Like just for example, like Islamic mortgage. I was a consumer of it. I got my house with Islamic mortgage in the US. I worked for Islamic mortgage in 2013. People evolve. I made a lot of money from selling homes and having a whole brokerage and stuff. But now one brother, and I'll mention his name, brother Umar Sulaiman, actually, he completely changed the paradigm of thought.
From Wahid.
From Wahid, brother Umar Sulaiman from Wahid, chief risk officer.
How? I'm curious.
How you think?
How did he do that?
Yeah, so one question he asked me, is it really, because my discussion with him was how do we create the solution for Muslims? Like, how do we have a halal mortgage? How do we do this? How do we do this? He asked me, Sam, is it even necessary to have houses with mortgage? Halal or not halal? Like, is it even necessary problem to solve? And sometimes when you take a step back and maybe, and I'm not saying yes or no, bro, but I'm saying we have to take a step back and think.
As opposed to what though? Like,
as opposed to, for example, Instagram. Like now we're trying
to talk about the house halal. This is important to have a mortgage.
So his thinking is it important as opposed to buying, not even buying a house you live in, maybe buying investment properties, making capital from there, then buying your house when you can afford full cash. Like questioning the question itself, and debate on that. I understand. Fundamentals. You know what I'm saying?
The reason why I think the social media thing is good for multiple reasons. By the way, I'm not thinking of an Instagram type, right? But I'm thinking of course, the utility of it and how it's used has to be looked into. But something like X, I think X, I'll be honest with you, I never had X for all these years. I've recently got it. Whenever I need to get real-time information about what's going on in the world, bro, X is actually fantastic.
It is.
For all the
on-ground reality,
yeah. It's actually useful, and I go to it when I need to. Look at LinkedIn, for example. That's a social media, and it solves a particular problem, right? The other issue is that media is what is basically distribution of information, distribution of knowledge, right? So our messages get censored, or we have to self-censor, or we get deplatformed, or this or that, because we can't communicate things that are in our best interests, you know, smoothly. Then here's another thing, Sheikh, is that you create an advertising platform, right? So, subhanAllah, Google is the biggest advertising network in the world. Do you know what I'm saying? Meta is probably like second, third, like it's massive. Do you know what I'm saying? So point being is that you solve another problem now, right? An opportunity away from Muslims to. So if I, for example, made an ad on Meta right now, Assalamu alaikum guys, the cave, a network of Muslims who fear Allah Azza wa Jal, blah, 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 blah. And I have a very like solid, like, you know, one of the main reasons guys come is because I'm around Muslims. Like that's literally like the main reason, right? Yeah, the investment thing is great and they benefit from it, and then insights, it's all like part and parcel, but I want to be around like-minded people that are thriving. So I have to tone down my wording, because they actually shut down one of our ads managers, and we said nothing wrong. It was just like, you know, it was maybe some person complained because they saw the ad, or Meta flagged it for whatever reason. You're allowing Muslim businesses to thrive now. Do you know what I'm saying? And the data that you would collect, you have distribution and so I think. But I definitely believe your point is valid. Yeah, not every single thing needs to be solved by solved. I definitely agree with the principle.
But just on this, so brilliant perspectives from both of you, but 100%. I'll back Sheikh Imran on this. It's the utility. So I don't think we intend
pictures and this,
right?
And that.
Because firstly, from a halal perspective or from a Muslim perspective, we'd want to be. We don't see the need for posing, which Instagram is now just being used for.
Right.
There's a lot of other stuff that it could be used for, but I agree. YouTube, I think the model that we could draw from is a combination of YouTube and X and LinkedIn.
And LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know this conversation, because I never thought about this. I've had this idea for a while and it's been in the back of my head, but you know what? I think the best way to do it, I'm just thinking out loud, that would have the least friction in terms of trying to, you know, because like, you're right? In order to get dopamine, You want people. So in order to get people on there, you need to give them dopamine hits, and usually that comes from content that's extreme on both ends of the spectrum, right?
Yep.
Aggressive, violent, liberal, whatever have you. Half naked women, war, murder, racism. These are the things that go viral. But LinkedIn's not like that.
Yeah.
LinkedIn is a place where actually you get taken off for stuff like that. It's actually, you'd actually conceal your views. You say whatever you want on X, but you would not say it on LinkedIn. So I'm actually just thinking the app could literally be a network of Muslim experts, scholars, businessmen, entrepreneurs.
That's something I'll send for.
Academics.
Yep.
Teachers,
Yep.
healthcare professionals. Basically, the
Then,
cave,
Sheikh, you're creating a blue ocean.
the blue ocean.
Then you're not even, actually, it's not even.
And the whole thing is about, I want to get connected. I just want
Correct.
to connect.
Yep.
I need funding for this.
Yeah. So I like it. So it's not a Muslim version of Instagram, Muslim
Yes.
version of
No,
Facebook. That's what I'm
no,
saying. We don't have to Muslimify everything.
So you
that's
can have
out there doing well.
that
So you can, for
Right.
example, in that have
Yeah.
like a video section.
Yep.
You can have like a feed that's like X for like news, and see which one takes
Yeah.
off.
But I think ultimately,
I love the idea.
I think
What do you
it
think of it?
really, really, really falls down also to.
I need 10 million.
No, I mean it really ultimately, whoever is using that social media is a person that is coming from a specific background, right? And I feel like the social media is always targeting your insecurities,
Yes.
and that's why it gets people hooked.
Yeah.
I think it should be a process from the ground up. So if you really raise the generation that is yet to come, Gen Z, whatever, to really be fully on their deen and convinced with the way that we do things and understand why we do it the way that we do it, and just be very close to them and speak their language, but also without being too disconnected from the reality in the cyber world. I think you can draw the perfect balance, because that person is going to grow up to be sitting in the same seats that we are sitting and have similar mentalities as us. So for me, for example, if I see stuff on social media that I don't like, I just put not interested, khalas, problem solved.
Yes.
But why? Because I was khalas, like
Yeah.
I was raised on a specific criteria. I was programmed by my parents to look for specific things. Obviously, I swayed the wrong way in my teens, but eventually you come back to your roots.
100%.
So that's what I'm saying. It all falls
It can be done, but it needs a lot of funding, this project. Because, like, for example, like adoption is going to be a big issue. You got to do things like what Rumble did, for example, Spotify did as well. Spotify bought Joe Rogan and said, it's
Exclusive. Yep.
exclusive. I hosted here. Rumble did with Andrew Tate. Do you know what I'm saying? So you've got to, like, for example, you just look at the best Muslim talent. It could be doctors, entrepreneurs.
And that's where I don't think we can limit it to only Muslims, because then we're limiting ourselves. If as long as the person is
you're right. You
ethical-
don't have to limit it to Muslims.
Yeah,
You're
What if
right.
a
it's
non-Muslim
ethical.
likes
You're
your
absolutely right.
content?
You're
Are you
absolutely
going
right.
to tell him no?
No, you're right.
No.
You're right. You're right.
as long as
You're
our
right.
ethics is maintained.
We're saying
Exactly,
Muslim
yeah.
owned and the rules that pass.
Yes,
LinkedIn
ethics.
could have been owned by a Muslim, and all the non-Muslims will still be on there because it solves a problem.
You'd be surprised sometimes what I watch. I watch Jewish business shows, and I'm like, man, I'm always so intrigued how these guys do business. Wallahi, I follow some of them on TikTok. Man, you find some dimes.
I've seen some of the Instagram.
You shared, I think, or Abubakar shared.
I should have, wasn't it?
You hear, honestly, like you could actually learn.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it at the end of the
No, of
day,
course
you know,
not.
like
Yeah.
it's
I mean, I read books by big Jewish guys anyway. Steven
Yeah.
Schwartzman. Right? Always.
Yeah.
it's true.
طيب, with that said, brother, I think it's been a very interesting conversation. How do you guys find it today?
Very good, very insightful.
I like
very
when
enjoyable.
there's good, healthy debates.
Yeah, it's getting better as well. I think
Of
it's.
course,
I think
yeah,
every
yeah.
episode
We're
where
still waiting for that debate, though.
the
That's
crypto one and
the crypto and the real estate guys.
yeah.
We're the team's already ready. We're here.
No, he's been holding it down. We found a potential.
Wait,
Shaz.
Sheikh Ibrahim is on whose side?
He's on your side.
Of course,
Is it-
hard
I-
asses, bro. He's
I-
more extreme than me and you when it
I
comes
just
to
want to
hard
make
asses.
sure. I just want to make sure. You never know these days. Now you never know. You might find some imposters, some imposters. So now we need to check. Are you crypto boy or no? Show me your ID.
Let's show me a portfolio.
Show me your portfolio. Prove that you're not one of them.
طيب, all right, with that said, guys, may Allah Azza wa Jalla bless you. Make sure you engage with the ecosystems of our guys here. Check out their Instagram, LinkedIn
Yes,
as well.
we're all getting into LinkedIn.
We'll start posting that too,
Inshallah.
I love it, man. It's like a mini mastermind. I learned so much from you guys today.
Yeah, same here.
Barakallah feek. طيب, may Allah Azza wa Jalla bless you and love you and honor you.